What's going on, everybody?
Who is that cat? Archer. You're just gonna stare at me? Oh.
I am Walrus. What the hell?
Good evening, everybody. It is Artie of Artie's Corporate Fiction. How you guys doing? Happy Friday to all of you. We, as promised, we're going right into part 2 of Mr. Hillygus' evidentiary hearing. This time, it should be including witness statements. Sorry, I was like trying to find Winston. I didn't know where he was. He was underneath my bed. Anyway. Hope you guys are doing well. I'm about to get the show on the road. And, yeah. Sit back, relax. We're going to go right into it. I will say that for the weekend, these lamps will be removed. And I'm going to be installing the new lights. The new lights that I got for Christmas. Could be nicer, cleaner looking background, I think. All right, let's go right into it. Gonna go right from the start. My understanding is that the goal for this, the state wants to bring in a lot of stuff involving Hillygus' spat with his sister in the guardianship case. My understanding is that the sister is wanting to be brought in as a witness, as at the bare minimum. But this I don't know who this Todd individual is, but we'll find out.
And isn't it true in the fact that you failed the bar exam 3 times?
You don't have to answer that question.
That's false anyway.
That you paid somebody to take the bar exam for you?
That's false.
What? What? That? What? No! I hadn't even heard of that one. I literally have not clicked on this yet. That's the first bit of question he's gonna ask. Did you pay somebody to take the bar? Oh no. Oh, I'm so glad. Oh no.
Right, when the court took a break, I indicated that Mr. Steggy could respond by way of argument to the arguments he heard, and if he wanted to examine Mr. Hillygus on the issues that Mr. Hillygus answered questions under oath to the court, he could do so. If Mr. Steggy chooses to do that, when you answer his questions about your mom's surgery, pacemaker, your intention and conduct at that time, you'll understand that your responses are under oath. Is that fair?
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Mr. Steggy, you may proceed.
I'll begin with Mr. Hillygus' arguments. He did mention that early on his parents lacked capacity. That is a reminder that in my motion I pleaded with the court that I should be able to admit from that aging and disability services report that even at that point, Mrs. Hillygus was not competent to answer basic questions about herself, which again, this, Mr. Hillygus and Mr. Hankey, we have seen, made claims that Mrs. Hillygus wanted to go or expressed a desire to go with Mr. Hillygus. That is directly relevant to that point, that if even years before she was recognized as being incompetent, as being in that mental state, that's directly relevant to whether she could have or would have the ability to do that. Of course, that would also come from testimony regarding the guardianship case, because it became the case where there was a finding by, or a report by Dr. Rubin in which he found that she was not competent and needed to be placed in a home for her memory care. So that this question of when she lacked capacity or her mental state leading up to this is highly probative, and there really is no character inference from it. I'm struck by Mr. Hillygus' argument that the state wants to relitigate these things, as I think as the court hopefully saw. I'm interested in what were the findings of the court, right? And he's interested in whether they're right or wrong, right? There was a settlement conference and a settlement agreement reached, right? That is factual. His claim that, oh, well, that was illegal, or things were on appeal, etc., right? That strikes me as he's actually the one wanting to relitigate or say, well, it was really unfair, or I was aggrieved by how things went for me, which really, in reality, plays right into my request to have this admitted for a motive. All of this crime is a response to his own wrong view that he was aggrieved. I argue facts. I mean, other bad acts requires that I provide evidence. I provided evidence in the form of reports here, representations as an officer of the court, and I am prepared to present witnesses along these lines. Which goes to this aspect, that the defendant has any credit, that his statements, sworn statements today ought to have any bearing or any credibility. When the state didn't, I could present those witnesses, but here we have before the court, right, the report of the Aging and Disability Services person by Mrs. Renwick to be able to testify to these matters. In any event, his claims today go to weight, not admissibility, right? The court suggested when you just took the bench that, well, the court you can ask Mr. Hillygus about what his true intent was that day. I don't really care what his intent is. I want the facts so that the jury can infer or what his intent was, or I want him on the stand in front of a jury, subject to cross-examination, so they can make the determination what his intent is. His self-serving statements today that, oh, of course I did not intend that,
self-serving,
are of almost no weight. I counter.
Is self-serving under oath?
Self-serving under oath, right? And I think, he's been declared a vexatious litigant, a person who abuses the processes of this court, a person who does not abide by orders of this court. That's relevant in this case, but also as to that fine point of his credibility to say, well, of course I didn't mean for that to happen. I mean, that's belied by the record. And it would be on testimony that Mr. Hillygus gave no notice to Mrs. Renwick that she was going to have to care for her mother, that the oxygen that that Mrs. Hillygus needed for her care was not provided for. In fact, all of her medical equipment was at the Nob Hill address where Mr. Hillygus was living with Mrs. Hillygus, as well as no clothing was delivered or to Mrs. Hillygus by the defendant, that she had specialized medical care, like her mobility was challenged, so his house had, for example, a walk-in shower for those purposes, and that Mrs. Hillygus had, or Mrs. Renwick had essentially no help at the time to care for her mother. So his claim, and it defies belief that he would say, well, we didn't want her to be outside, and that's completely belied by the record. In fact, it led to her never being in his care again. So the financial motive, and Mr. Silverberg touched on this, but with no real analysis. Like, well, what could the financial motive be, right? Because there's an order from the court that said you will be paid $3,500 a month out of the trust to care for your mother. When his mother, when he was no longer providing care, and Mrs. Hillygus was with the defendant's sister, that eliminated that aspect, that financial motive for it. Of course, the defendant claims that he never got paid. That would be and is belied by the entire record of the GR/PR case. The claim today under oath that the defendant took that money out to get a lawyer, lied by the entirety of the record. I believe Mr. Verveen would testify that that is.
Oh my God, Steggy, you gotta pump up the energy a bit, man. Come on.
The court judge said you are removed as trustee, and then he goes to the bank, right, because of concerns over the finances, specifically. I have a $335,000 liquid assets, spoiling $135,000 of that. He paid off the mortgage with. He also then did a quick claim deed. He also then tried to transfer the home to his wife to sort of evade what was going on with the case. Mr. Hillygus to Woodward and Wedge, $89,000, so another quarter of the liquid assets of the estate were wasted by the defendant, and that is what led to the court saying that's it. The court said it had no trust or faith in the defendant's ability to act as the trustee and removed him. There's no. Again, that's a weight. If he wants to get on the stand and claim, well, judge, or jury, I did that to get a lawyer, he can claim that, but that's, again, weight, not admissibility. The admissible portion of that is it goes to financial motive for his mom. Now, again, I get little analysis from Mr. Silverberg. Hey, why would there be a financial motive for this piece? Well, the documents.
Hold on. Why would they, as I understand Mr. Silverberg's argument, somewhat rhetorically, Judge, why would there be a financial motive on the day of the alleged crime here, removing her from Stone Valley? Who's gonna pay him $3,500 a month or any amount to care for her if it's later learned that he removed her in violation of court order or using documents that were not genuine?
Yeah, again, and here I underscore, Judge, that there's been very little, the observed processes that we have for filing motions and responding to them is noticeably absent in this case. I filed, it's over 100 pages. The pleadings in this case, it was served on both counsel, on both defendants. I got no response from Mr. Hillygus, nor from Mr. Silverberg, right? So again, arguing off the cuff, he says, well, what possibly could the motive be? That's easily answered. Every single piece of bogus paperwork that he filed said, this mail order jury verdict undoes everything that the district court did and restores me as the trustee of the Hillygus trust. That's the financial motive.
He wants that
believes
money,
it to be,
allegedly.
this wipes everything away. These fake documents wipe everything away. And again, his own sort of low-end rational sort of connecting of the dots for that is less important than clearly his motive was to have his mom to have the money, to undo getting all these orders against him in the district court. In fact, that's why he served it on the realtors who were doing the
Hey,
sale.
Jester.
He served it on the court saying all your orders are no longer.
Hey, what's up, Nut?
And he, after taking her, served it onto Stone Valley. So
Why don't you call Mr. Turbinen, if you want me to hear from him as part of your argument, or are you resting on the argument you've made and the inferences in court should draw?
well, I'm pointing out that, you know, the law requires a hearing, right? And there's case law that says the court can take representations of the parties. I mean, I submit that the reports are evidence of that, but I want the court to be wary of, if I submit that and we've heard no, we're towards the end of our 2 hours here, and we take Mr. Hillygus' sworn testimony as evidence that it is of slight to no weight. But yes.
You still believe you've shown by clear and convincing evidence?
Well, I think Mr. Corbinian's important to solving this issue, as well as I think the question on the aging and disability services. Now, before I get there, though, I want to touch on something else that Mr. Silverberg said, which is, well, they said it, the report says it was unfounded. I told this court, as an officer of the court, as someone who has a witness here, and that I expected the evidence to be to the effect that it was a bogus report, that was a false report. Again, the sort of degradation of the process, of the procedure that Mr. Hanty did not respond to the motion and comes here both playing the role of advocate for himself slightly and then advocate for Mr. Hillygus. That's a challenge for the state to deal with, right? When the law says, if you file a motion that no one responds to, you win the motion. Right? You should win that motion. I also want to touch on this claim that, well, Judge, you shouldn't let in, otherwise I'll have to file a motion to sever. Grant the motion, file the motion to sever, we'll have that argument before the court. But this idea that, oh, well, you better not do this, otherwise there will be a motion to sever. We know the law on motions to sever are almost never granted, just because, quoting or paraphrasing that case law, just because you get to have a better chance at being acquitted in a separate trial is not a rationale to be severed. Right? I've not argued today whatsoever that any of this should rub off, to paraphrase Mr. Silverberg's argument, onto Mr. Hanty, and of course the other act case law is replete with limiting instructions. I would submit, and really that's up to the defense, whether they want that limiting instruction, but the court should give instructions saying, whatever of this, if any, is granted, the following is admitted for the limited purpose of, and even from there, sort of distinguish between whether it's admissible as to Mr. Hillygus, Mr. Hanty, or both. And what we're here today about is admissibility as to Mr. Hillygus. I think it is important for the court to hear from Mr. Turbine and some of the other witnesses.
Call him.
Turbine, please.
I need an opportunity to respond briefly.
I'm going to give you a chance to respond, but after I hear from Mr. Turbine, please.
This was stuff that he brought up about Turbine that I need to respond to. Before you-
I'm going to give you
Just the one thing about Turbine. Just the one thing about Turbine.
Please hold. The way this works is because this issue's been raised and you responded, in reply, the state has an opportunity to put this witness under oath. I'll hear from him.
Oh, I see.
Some questions.
Right.
Right?
Oh, I see what did the. Okay, so yeah, because Hillygus went off on the first video about the circumstances surrounding his civil case, The state wants to bring in this witness, Torvino. I'm sorry. He was glazed. Steggy was so monotone, and he does the thing where at the end of a monologue, he lowers his voice towards the end of the sentence, and it really like drones on. So I wasn't able to pay too much attention. Is Torvino? I assume Torvino was an attorney involved in that civil case, and so that's why he's being brought up to testify. Yeah.
As long as they're relevant to what we're here to do, Mr. Silverberg can ask questions. Mr. Torvino, good afternoon. Please come forward, take the oath of witness.
You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this case shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
Welcome to Department 8. Please have a seat.
Thank
Make
you.
yourself comfortable.
Thank you. Okay.
Please slide in, and when you're ready, please tell us your name.
My name is Todd Lee Torvinen.
How do you spell your last name?
Torvinen.
Thank you very much. Mr. Steggy, you may proceed.
Thank you, sir. You are a local attorney, is that correct?
That is correct.
In what areas do you practice?
At this point, estates and trusts, estate planning, and I do some probate and trust litigation.
Within that context, are you familiar with Roger Hillygus, Susan Hillygus, and Robin Redwing?
I am.
Did you have any involvement in any litigation involving a trust of Mrs. and Mr. Hillygus the senior?
Well, if you're asking me from the beginning, I was engaged in late 2013 with respect to a TPO matter. And then later with respect to the guardianships that were petitioned over both Jean and Susan Hillygus. And then later in 2014, the guardianship court took jurisdiction of the trust, and then the PR case was started. So there was a TPO, 2 GR cases, and 1 PR case.
And Jean Hillygus is Roger Hillygus' father, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And across, so beginning from that TPO up until, I think the last order was entered by Judge Walker, is there any other lawyer who appeared across the life of that litigation?
Not to the best of my recollection, I was it.
Okay, and in fact, you were in it that entire time?
From late 13 until it terminated with respect to the order enforcing the no contest clause, which was issued by Judge Walker.
Okay, and for those,
Winston is currently chilling underneath my bed. Last I saw.
Okay, and can you explain, for going to the end, what did Judge Walker do at the end of the case?
At the end of the case, it was a petition for final distribution from the trust. At this point, Susan Hillygus had passed away, and there remained $180,000 or $200,000, maybe a little better, $200,000 in the trust. And as part of the petition, it was a hearing that took place at 2 occasions, I think, maybe just 1. But at any rate, we brought up the issue of enforcement of the no contest clause, which was contained in the Hillygus family trust, I think the restated trust, and that Mr. Hillygus contested the terms of the trust over and over again on multiple occasions, and Judge Walker enforced that clause, thereby removing Mr. Hillygus as a beneficiary, a 1/2 beneficiary from the Hillygus family trust.
Did, in that order, Judge Walker also make the finding that the vexatious litigant finding or order was not effective on Mr. Hillygus, meaning Mr. Hillygus continued to file pleadings despite the vexatious
I know that Judge Walker went through his conduct. I don't remember if there was a specific finding of him not following the vexatious litigant order, which had been previously issued by Judge Doherty.
So let's begin in the beginning in 2013. What sort of brought you into the case, your involvement?
Okay, I first represented Robin Renwick, Mr. Hillygus' sister, with respect to this matter. And the way I got involved was Susan and Jean Hillygus were separating. They were both 75 or something at the time. And a family agreement had been worked out. The agreement was,
Oh my God.
Hillygus was going to move out of what was called the Nob Hill residence. Susan Hillygus was going to move in with Roger Hillygus and his wife at the time, Debbie, in Dayton, Nevada. The house on Nob Hill was to be sold and the proceeds divided equally.
Okay.
Mr. Hillygus' parents were splitting up. And Roger Hillygus, to my recollection, Robin, his sister, my client, was helping her father.
Okay, finally. Okay, nobody in chat was saying anything. Okay, this is the sister's attorney. Okay, so in fairness, he's going to be a bit biased since he was Hillygus' opposing attorney. But at the same time, Hillygus' conduct has not lent himself very much credibility in his own right. That being said, let's keep on going.
And they returned to the residence, and Roger, at the Nob Hill residence, that is, where Susan was then living with Roger Hillygus, if I recall correctly. And Roger sought and obtained a TPO against his sister to prevent her from going to the Nob Hill residence.
Huh.
And you came in sort of in defense of the
Right
client.
then,
Did you learn in the context of the case about the status of the payments on Roger and Debbie Hillygus' residence in Dayton in 13?
yeah, I recall that at or near the same time in late 2013, there was a notice of default filed against his residence. That's the Roger and Debbie Hillygus residence in Dayton, Nevada. In fact, I saw the document.
So recorded?
Given that he had already gotten a vexatious litigant tag, I'm assuming yes, he did represent himself during the guardianship matter and the trust matter.
Yes, it was.
And that,
To my best of my recollection, it was.
yes, and is that around the time that the litigation revealed that Mr. Hillygus moved in with his parents on Nob Hill?
To the best of my recollection, they were close in time.
Okay. Were there concerns early on with withdrawal of funds from trust assets?
Well, early on, I'm not sure those concerns were there. The concerns arose later in the litigation.
Can you tell us about those?
Well, I gotta give you a little more background if I may.
Please.
So.
Oh my God.
Robin
All right, I'm going to put this on 1.25 speed.
Petition on behalf to be the guardian of her father.
All right, we're at 1.25 speed.
I can't remember exactly how the guardianship petition for Susan was commenced. In the summer of 14, we had a hearing with Judge Steinheimer. At that point, the court took jurisdiction of the trust, and a PR action was started too. I think that was started by Steve Moss on behalf of Jean Hillygus. Eventually, in 2014, the parties went to mediation with Margaret Crowley. Multiple sessions, winding up paying Margaret Crowley about $4,100 to come up with an agreement. My recollection is the parties agreed to this mediated agreement, which made Roger Hillygus the guardian for Susan Hillygus, made Robin Renwick the guardian for Jean Hillygus, her dad, and left Roger as the trustee of the Hillygus Family Trust with some transparency provisions. So for example, he had to allow his sister view access to all accounts, electronic view access to all accounts, and he had to account. So in early 15, after this agreement had been reached, there was a hearing held in Judge Doherty's court to turn this agreement into an order of the court. At that hearing, Michael Keene appeared who was Roger Hillygus' lawyer with Whitburn Wedge. Michael Keene appeared at the hearing, and my recollection is the judge ordered that as an order of the court, and then everyone was
Hold on, ordered the parties to follow the agreement
attorney.
that Margaret Crawley had brokered.
Yes,
Okay,
sorry.
and then what else happens, if anything?
So at that point, we were all hopeful things would calm down. And Ryan Earl, after that adoption by Judge Doherty of the mediated agreement, Ryan Earl, who was Susan Hillygus, GAL, petitioned the court to have his attorney's fees paid of about $5,800. He obtained an order from the court allowing the payment of that. There were also other attorney's fees, I think mine, and I don't remember, there was another lawyer, maybe Mr. Keene for some. And at that point, Mr. Hillygus was trustee of the trust. To my recollection, Mr. Hillygus refused to pay the attorney's fees, most of which he incurred about $95,000.
Oh, no. Oh, $95,000 in attorney's fees.
With Whitburn Wedge.
How much?
$90,000.
Woo!
He refused to pay them. So Mr. Earl commenced a motion, or filed a motion for order to show cause for failure to pay. On November 3, 2015, we had a hearing in Judge Doherty's court on that issue. Judge Doherty ordered Mr. Hillygus to pay and told him if he didn't pay, he was going to be removed as trustee at that hearing. 2 days after that, on November 5, 2015, Mr. Hillygus filed his first notice of appeal to the Nevada Supreme Court. That was ultimately dismissed December 8th. But remember, the court had jurisdiction of the trust, and in that time period, between November 5, 2015 and December 8, 2015, when the appeal was dismissed, Mr. Hillygus effectively destroyed the cash position of the trust by paying off the mortgage to the Nob Hill house. That was $135,000. So the trust was very...
Oh my God, no! Oh, wow. He paid off the rest of the mortgage of the house with the trust money.
Very little liquidity and liquid assets after that event. We got wind of that. We filed an emergency motion.
No.
Removed as trustee and guardian in early December 2015 after my client got wind of what happened here.
Because that was destroying the assets of the.
Yep.
Yeah, the assets didn't change, but certainly the liquidity did.
Yes.
And
The liquidity,
there
yes.
were care payments to make for each of these parents, and it
Yes.
was problematic, although they did have some pension payments.
The problem was I don't know if it's illegal, but it's improper. It could be illegal, but it's extremely improper because the trust is an asset at issue. Right? So the trust money is at issue, so you're not supposed to be touching it except for its allotted purpose. Except for during its allotted purpose. In this case, apparently it was being used to pay for the the end of life care or the elderly care of the parents. But instead, Hillygus decided to take a good chunk of that money, sounds like 60% of it. Oh my God. 60% of that money to pay off the mortgage, which he didn't need to do.
So we went and had an emergency hearing in Judge Doherty's court on December 22, 2015. At that point, when Judge Doherty discovered what Mr. Hillygus had done, and Mr. Hillygus looked at her in that court and indicated the court had no jurisdiction over him, and there was no jurisdiction over the trust.
Oh my God. So that's when he went full soft sit. That's when he started going full soft sit.
Hillygus' beatings, despite the Landreth case, which gives the family court concurrent jurisdiction. But anyway, the judge removed him. The judge instructed him, and this was in the morning of the 22nd of December of 2015. The judge instructed him he had no longer had any access to trust assets. That afternoon, after the hearing, despite the judge's admonition, he went down to Plymouth Bank and took $15,000 of trust money out of the.
Oh no! Oh! Okay, again, if true, holy hell. The same day the court said you don't have any access anymore, he went and jacked $15K more out of the trust. Woo!
Account.
This dude.
Hold on. Next question.
Would that have been permissible under the status of the case?
It was not. In fact, it was opposite of the judge's direct admonition to him.
Was there ever, did you ever hear the claim afterwards from Mr. Hillygus that he took that money to pay for a lawyer?
Yes. He said, if I recall correctly, he took $5,000 to pay for Keith Tierney, but that still leaves another missing 10. We never, to my recollection, we never really figured out what happened to the whole 15. Just disappeared.
And even if it was to pay for a lawyer, that would not have been permissible under the status of.
Right, and later,
No!
in January, when we had a hearing,
No, it would not be permissible. Again, you can't use the trust funds for your own personal benefit, especially when those trust funds are at issue in a court case.
Judge Doherty found a direct breach of trust for taking that money that he was not entitled to take.
So what happened after he took that money he wasn't entitled to take?
Okay, well, he was removed temporarily as trustee, and Robin Renwick was appointed. He was removed as guardian for his mother, and Robin Renwick was appointed. And then later, I don't know if it was in January or maybe February of 16, Robin Renwick was appointed as co-guardian, and I think by co-guardian over the person and the estate of Susan Hillygus, along with a professional fiduciary named Casey Zusman. And at that point, in early 16, Casey Zusman was also appointed as the sole trustee of the Hillygus Family Trust.
At the time of Mr. Hillygus' this temporary removal, was the $15,000 the only? Well, why was he removed right? So he was removed and then he took the $15,000.
Correct.
What was the underlying reason for being removed as the trustee?
Well, hold on. Maybe he said it, or maybe I just understood it this way. Because the money that he'd been ordered to pay the law firm has now been taken out and moved into a home, which, I'm gonna assume somebody's gonna homestead a home and it's beyond reach of any debtors.
Yeah, and he also threatened that he was gonna, at that time, in December 15, that he was gonna file bankruptcy on behalf of the trust.
Okay.
So that came out in the December 22, 2015 hearing, along with the payoff of the mortgage.
Okay,
Thank you.
well, let's move it forward.
Take us from there. The temporary removal, the $15,000. What happens next?
Well, after that, it became apparent, well, the attorney's fees were paid by Robin Renwick, or I guess by Casey Zusman, because they were trust assets. They had to liquidate assets. All the attorneys were paid. Mr. Ur was paid, and at that point, there was no money left in the trust. Zero. No liquidity.
So he cleaned it out. Nice. So there's no liquidity outside of the house, basically. So the house is the only asset remaining in the trust.
He left. The only asset that the trust held that had any value at that point was the Nob Hill residence.
Yep.
Now, up to this point, had Mr. Hillygus, after paying off the mortgage, or did you ever hear him say or see pleadings in which he claimed that the house was his property or my property?
So I reviewed the answering brief we filed to one of his Supreme Court appeals, his opening brief. And I went through all the pleadings, and Mr. Hillygus, on multiple occasions and multiple pleadings, referred to the house as, quote, his property, quote, my property, quote, respondent's property. So it was apparent to me that he thought the house was his.
Yep.
In reality, it was.
Well, it was two things.
It was a trust.
Number one, the trust corpus, and I think by this point Gene Hillygus had passed away, but the trust corpus was designated primarily to take care of the settlers, the creators of the trust, that is Susan Hillygus and Gene.
The trust corpus or body of the trust or the assets of the trust. That's what he means by the trust corpus.
Hillygus. And there were two residual beneficiaries, a half beneficiary being Mr. Hillygus, the other half being his sister, Robin Renwick. So because after the attorney's fees were paid, and there was a tax liability of about $20,000 because some appreciated securities had to be liquidated, at that point, it became apparent, and mind you, under the terms of the stipulated agreement which Judge Doherty turned into an order, Mr. Hillygus was supposed to, and his wife, I think, maybe just him, were supposed to take care of Susan Hillygus at the premises of the Nob Hill residence. For that, they received rent-free living accommodations. And in early 2016, Susan Hillygus needed some sort of surgery. It's my recollection that apparently Roger wouldn't pick her up from the surgery or something like that, so Robin Renwick went and picked her up from the surgery and helped her convalesce. Susan Hillygus began living with her daughter for the next 5 months. This is in early 16. At the end of that time period, we filed a petition to place Susan Hillygus in a higher level of care because she had pretty advanced Alzheimer's. And
Okay.
at this point, she was excused from attending the hearings because she didn't understand what was going on. Her GAL, Brian Earl, told the court this on 1 or maybe 2 occasions. She had no recollection of the hearings. And it upset her because she didn't want to see her 2 kids fighting.
And were there also sort of findings of the court or reports submitted to the court about Mrs. Hillygus' capacity?
Yeah, that she had no capacity. My recollection is there was a report done by Dr. Stephen Rubin that she had very, very little capacity to understand what was going on. That was confirmed by the GAL based upon his conversations and interactions with her. That's Ryan Earl. And so after the attorney's fees were paid, and Susan had lived with Robin Hillygus. Susan Hillygus had lived with Robin Hillygus for 5 months. The trustee of the trust and the co-guardians for Susan filed a petition to place her, 1, and 2, to sell the residence because they needed the money for care. I mean, at that point, my recollection is it was $8,000.
I see. Okay, now the picture's being drawn. So so it sounds like they had already been butting heads, the brother and sister, Roger and his sister. And then the judge, and then at some point, Hillygus decided to take $160,000 in liquid assets, and liquidity in the trust to pay off the remainder of the mortgage. The problem was that the liquid assets were supposed to be for paying for the parents' care, or in this case, the mom's care. Trying to do that, or by doing that, the judge told them, you're no longer a trustee, and so you have no control of it. Apparently, the same day the judge said that, he decided to take $15K more out of the trust, basically leaving the trust with almost nothing in liquid assets, leaving the home being the only asset available to them. But because a home isn't liquid, there's no remaining funds to pay for mom's care. Mom's dementia, or no, not dementia, Alzheimer's is progressing. But the problem is Hillygus and his wife were living in the home rent free because they were, I guess, presumably taking care of mom. Well, Susan, the sister, wanted to put mom in a better place, or in a better living condition. So in order to do that, she wanted to sell the house. Well, as the only trustee, she's allowed to do that. Hillygus doesn't have a means to oppose it. And that's where we come back here.
Or $9,000 a month for her to reside in Stone Valley, which is a memory care center.
And there were findings that was both necessary and appropriate.
Judge Doherty made specific, my recollection is she made specific findings that it was appropriate to place Susan Hillygus in Stone Valley, and I believe Susan Hillygus was placed there in July of 16. And at the same time, at the same hearing, Judge Doherty instructed.
Well, because he was trustee at the time, he had the ability to take funds out of it.
Mr. Hillygus, hey, you and your wife can continue to live in the residence rent-free, even though your mom's not there.
So the mom is now gone. She's no longer in the living care.
Your mom's been placed in Stone Valley. All you need to do is cooperate to sell the property because the money's necessary to pay for her care. And what happened after that is eye-opening. Mr. Hillygus then placed up no trespassing signs
Yep.
at the
And this is the catalyst that led to what we're dealing with now. They put up the no trespassing signs. They are forced to be evicted because they don't want to leave the property because the property is being sold to pay for mom's care. And so Hillygus, okay, so now I see why the state wants to bring this in, is to show the motive behind Hillygus is to take his mom out of the care and put her back in the house or something like that, right?
prevented Robin Renwick and Casey Zusman from conducting an inventory that was required to report to the court. And he wouldn't leave the residence. So I remember he was an at-will tenant. Judge Doherty told him, look, you're an at-will tenant.
At-will tenant is basically the lowest form of possession. At-will tenancy is like whoever actually owns that property, you gotta get the fudge out. You are at will. You can get evicted at any time.
With the sale, it'll all be good. He refused. We did a notice to quit, a 30-day notice to quit the premises as an at-will tenant. He did not abide by that.
Then he didn't leave.
Yes, he refused to vacate and didn't cooperate for the sale. Oh, by the way, I missed something. In between the time, and the court should know this. At the end of 15, before he was removed as trustee, Mr. Hill.
Yes, at this point, 98, the sister is the sole trustee. She has full control of the assets, and that means the house. She's free to do what she wants to it in furtherance of the settler's benefit and furtherance of the beneficiary, in this case, mom.
Executed a note and deed of trust, the note being in the sum of approximately $166,000 in favor of his wife, Debbie Hillygus.
What?
It was recorded in March of 2016. So he clouded the title to the house.
Wait, so he tried to give title to his wife to think that would be that would get out of underneath out of under this?
Executed a note at the end of 15.
Oh, he did a promissory note thing.
Removed as trustee. Mr. Hillygus executed a note and deed of trust, the note being in the sum of approximately $166,000 in favor of his wife, Debbie Hillygus. It was recorded in March of 2016. So we clouded the title to the house.
Okay, pause there. I need you to end the direct examination because the worry is that for purposes of this other bad acts hearing, we're really relitigating this dispute from years ago that I just need enough information to form an impression in the court's mind whether these, among the other prongs, the clear and convincing evidence prong has been met. And so I need you to wrap up, and then I'm going to let Mr. Hillygus ask Mr. Trevino some questions, and then Mr. Silverberg, if you'd like to.
I may move to a more leading form of question with the court's.
Well, you can. I'll give you a little leeway, but I'm going to give you about 5 more minutes with this witness because I'm already using time I had devoted to prepare for another hearing.
I'm sorry if I took too long.
No, you're doing fine.
Was there ever a report filed in the case by Deborah Fredericks opining that Mr. Hillygus, with respect to Mr. Hillygus, the senior, had subjected the elder Mr. Hillygus to undue influence and financial exploitation?
That is correct, and I think this was in sometime in early 2015. Deborah Fredericks did this report that was submitted to the court. And my recollection is there was some missing money Jean Hillygus told her about, and she concluded based upon the discussion that Mr. Hillygus engaged in financial elder abuse. That was her conclusion.
Was there, as part of this stipulation regarding the settlement agreement in 2015, a provision that Roger and his wife Debbie were to be paid $3,400 a month from the assets of the...
That is correct. He was to be paid. They were to be paid $3,400 a month for caring for Susan, and another $500 a month to be for his service as trustee of the Hillygus Family Trust.
And was that actually paid to him?
My recollection is that some of it was paid. I don't know how much. I just don't know how much.
So you were aware that Mrs. Hillygus had a PERS pension, correct?
Correct.
And was there a point at which Mr. Hillygus as when he was the trustee, managed or was in charge of that pension benefit.
So mom also had a pension, and he was, as trustee, when he was trustee, he would also be in charge of that as well. Yeah.
Well, when Casey Zussman and Robin Renwick took over, they dealt with the pension and notified PERS. What Mr. Hillygus did do was he filed documents to continue to receive Susan Hillygus' Social Security, which was between $600 and $800 a month.
Oh, so taking mom's Social Security too. That's nice.
And at some point was that sort of removed, or he was removed in that capacity?
He was. I think that Robin Renwick and Casey Zussman straightened that out with the Social Security Administration.
Are you aware that did the court make the finding that the amount of fees that Mr. Hillygus had entailed or was, quote, exorbitant?
That's actually a quote from her on December 22, 2015. And the rest of the quote was, I can understand why they were so exorbitant, because you won't follow the court's orders.
And was that a theme of the litigation that Mr. Hillygus would not follow orders of the court?
That is a fair statement. In fact, he never recognized the jurisdiction of Judge Doherty over the trust.
Of course he didn't.
Continued to refer to himself as the, quote, true successor trustee long after he'd been removed.
Yeah, so that's what this all comes down to. He refuses the court's jurisdiction, and then he pretends that he's still the trustee. Therefore, he should have full and free access to any part of the assets of the trust. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Hold there. Last question, please.
If all of the litigation that you were party to or shepherded were undone, if you went back to before any litigation, would that be a financial gain or financial benefit to Roger Hillygus?
I'm not quite sure I understood that.
So you're familiar with these We the People documents that the defendant filed in 2019?
Correct.
If those were true, they're not. If those were true, which they purport to undo everything that the court did,
Correct.
would that would put the defendant in, you'd have his house, correct? Or you would have the not-built house?
Yeah, well, everything, and I read the answering brief last night twice. Everything Mr. Hillygus did was designed to retain this residence. Whether it was filing the phony note deed of trust in favor of his wife, paying off the mortgage, preventing the move out of the house, ignoring Judge Doherty's everything, and in fact, the house was scheduled to be sold in August of 19. In early August 19, he recorded these phony judgments from We the People to cloud title to prevent the sale of the house. And in fact, the day before the house was to be sold and closed, so we had to clear those phony documents, run down to the court, emergency motions, judge, the title's all clouded now. To allow the sale to occur on the 21st or 22nd, whatever it was, of August of 2019. The day before that is when he picked up his mother from Stone Valley.
Okay. I understand.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Hillygus, you can ask questions of Mr. Permian.
Here we go.
All right, thank you.
Uh-oh.
Mr. Permian, is it true that you attended law
Oh, no.
school in Arizona?
At the University of Arizona, yes,
And what year did you graduate from law school?
1987.
And isn't it true in the fact that you failed the bar exam 3 times?
You don't have to answer that question.
What? What? So what? Really, bro? Really? So this is the angle that he's going to go on, is to attack the credentials of the attorney.
Anyway,
That you paid somebody to take the bar exam for you?
that's false.
Isn't it true in the fact that you took a credit card from Mr. Hillygus and charged his account after he was determined to lack capacity? And I'll tell you the date, January of 2014.
That is not true. He had capacity then.
Isn't it true in the fact that Dr. Kent Elliott examined Herbert Hillygus, or Gene Hillygus, my father, in December 13th of 2013?
I just don't recall. I don't know.
If it's proven that you failed to admit to the court that you used money out of the trust account when Mr. Herbert Hillygus was determined to lack capacity, is that elder abuse? Is that extortion? Is that
All of that is irrelevant to the case at hand.
Is that a crime of theft?
That's hypothetical.
Hold on a second. Objection to the form of the question?
Form of the question, the relevance of it, whether there's a good faith basis for such a.
The objection is sustained. You don't have to answer that. But let me just give some guidance here. If Mr. Trevino is called as a witness at trial, you can impeach him as to questions as to his credibility or bias. And but be careful. The court doesn't allow attorneys or self-represented litigants to ask questions and imply to the jury that they have evidence to prove something embedded in the question if they don't have that. So if this witness answers that question no, and you can't say, if you don't have something there, we're going to have a problem. Also, you're asking for legal conclusions here, and that's generally not allowed. But it's not lost on the court that you believe that Mr. Terminen paid himself at a time when he ought not to have. Right?
It's not that I believe it, I've got documents to
Okay,
prove it.
I got it.
Bank accounts, and this is all stuff that can be proven.
Okay. All right. What else would you like the court to know through Mr. Terminen?
Isn't it true in the fact that you filed a petition for guardianship for both Susan Hillygus and Herbert on the same day?
Yeah, I think you're right about that.
Yeah, thank you for the 99-cent super chat.
For a guardianship, what was the reason for that?
With respect to Susan, I think that your sister thought that you were isolating her and preventing her from seeing her mom. With respect to Jean, it was to remove you, because at the same time, Steve Moss did a petition to have you removed as trustee of the trust on behalf of Jean. So it was to remove you from control. That was the reason, one of the reasons.
So are you admitting here today that I was in control of the trust back when this petition was filed?
You had some control, Mr. Hillygus, that's all I can recall.
So if individuals lack capacity and they've had somebody that's in control, what is the reason or the need for guardianship when the person that's in control has power of attorney and trusteeship?
Well, that's a legal question, but it's guardianship over the person and the estate. Mostly the estate was in the trust, but both of these folks, your mom in particular was failing, your dad was starting to fail at that point. That's my recollection.
If the petitions had never been filed, would there be any money that would be owed to any attorneys for this 7 years that have gone on?
I don't know.
If the petitions had never been filed, would there be a need for lawyers to fight something that's not needed?
Well, Mr. Hillygus, your whole notice was to obtain the assets for yourself and the house for
Okay, hold
yourself.
on. Let's stop.
Ooh. Yeah. Even the judge had to step in for that one.
What we call an argument to the court in the form of a question. You're trying to say, and you heard Mr. Stady ask him the question. If the slate was wiped clean and we went back in time, would that have provided a financial benefit to you? So this is a question a little bit the other side of that coin. If the guardianship petitions had never been filed, wouldn't there be more assets, money, stuff available? And you don't have to hit me over the head with it. I get it. The answer is yes. And so you're implying to the court that those things never should have been filed. I get it. But I want to say this again. It's not the court's intention to relitigate something that goes back 10 years, a dispute, a fight that multiple judges have made multiple.
I mean, ultimately, the judge is right. Yeah. Again, this is all about relitigating the what happened. It's not really relevant to the current case.
For purposes of
Hey, welcome, bigot folks.
the question for the court is, how much of this, if any, should be able to be brought up by the state, in its case in chief? That's different than if it doesn't, or if I instruct the state it cannot. If one of the defendants opens the door, different rules apply. But right now the state has said, Judge, we want to be able to ask about this in our case in chief. And so I have to determine how much of this, if any, is relevant, how much of it has been proven by clear and convincing evidence, how much of it is not unduly prejudicial to the defense, or otherwise would come in from some other exception.
I hear you.
All right.
I hear you. So
That's sort of what I say to you. Go
I
ahead.
know that isn't it true in the fact that you made reference to what was said by Judge Doherty?
I did.
Isn't it true in the fact that there's a recording called JAVS, I believe, JAVS, of everything that was said in that court, so that we can go back and bring that evidence up to see exactly what she said?
I think there is.
Absolutely.
Okay, last question, please.
Okay.
Mr. Hillygus.
I heard you mention that it was, tell me if I'm wrong, $8,000 a month for the care at Stone
I thought you said 8,000 to 9,000.
Yeah, 8 to 9.
And how many additional people were paid above and beyond the 8,000 or 9,000 from Stone Valley?
I don't know.
Were you paid for those times? Were you doing work?
Eventually, I was paid by order from Judge Walker.
Was the guardians, Casey Zusman, was she being paid during that time?
I believe she was.
Was Ryan Earl, the guardian ad litem, was he being paid during that time?
Well, he had to have his fees approved, so they were paid after approval.
And other attorneys were also paid, am I correct? Was Gordon Muir paid, was Keith Tierney paid, was,
That was early on in the case, and that's what you refused to abide by that order. So that they were eventually paid when Robin Renwick and Casey Zusman took over.
All right, Mr. Hillygus, I'm gonna move on.
you know,
All right. Thank you. So here's what happens next. Mr. Silverberg, you can, if you have questions for Mr. Torvinian, you can ask him on behalf of your client.
No questions.
Mr. Steggy, anything else based on any responses to questions from Mr. Hillygus?
I think you know.
Mr. Torvinian, you may step down. Thank you for your time and your testimony. Have a pleasant afternoon. Mr. Steggy, does the state have any other witnesses you'd like the court to hear from?
I would. I know the hour's getting late. I know the court's calendar this afternoon. We had discussed with your JDA about a possible overflow date. I would like to present probably 2 more witnesses, if that's possible. And maybe the court can give some direction to the state, right? I mean.
Well, tell me who the 2 witnesses are, please, and what you anticipate they would say.
So I anticipate the aging disability report. Key to that is 2 things: the capacity, sort of what she was able to glean from Mrs. Hillygus, as well as sort of the overall conclusion that these allegations were not true or were false.
That the allegations that she wanted to go with Mr. Hillygus, Mr. Hillygus?
The allegations. So she ends up with Robin Renwick, and Roger makes a complaint saying she's being abused. Robin is giving her kids alcohol in exchange for watching Mrs. Hillygus. There's people taking her medication. She's being watched.
What?
Sort of outrageous claims of abuse, which were
Whoa!
Taking her pain medication.
taking her.
Oh my God!
I mean, and they turn out to be the opposite. And really, so the piece I'm interested there, and it is, you can glean it from the reports. The piece is that, right, that it was motivated, appeared motivated to get his mom back. And it's sort of a common thing within these situations where people make false claims against someone in order to get
Okay, well, what's the other witness?
the other, Robin, to explain in more detail how it was that Mrs. Hillygus came to live with her at the,
Is she
at
here?
your own notice.
Okay, is she here now?
She is.
Call her.
Okay, Robin Renwick.
Ooh,
The other one, I don't.
sister.
It's been briefed pretty well. I get the gist of that. I'd like to hear from Ms. President.
Right? Is the sister?
Let me say this also, just for everyone's benefit. I've showed some leniency with Mr. Handy using his cell phone while he's at defense table. That ends when we start the trial. So make sure, Mr. Silverberg, you explain to Mr. Handy, you can't have a cell phone at a counsel table. Starting in the morning, we start picking the jury through the trial.
Just making some notes, Judge.
Pardon me?
Just making some notes.
We give you a pen and paper to make notes, but again, I'm not saying you need to stop now and for the final pre-trial conference. I'm not saying that, I'm just saying when trial starts. I'm not picking on you, that's how the court rolls.
You're all right, I know, you got this time set for this hearing, I do have to be at Justice Court 1:30, that just, let's work back into your eyes, other things going.
We're gonna stop this hearing at close to 1 o'clock if I can. All right, thank you. Good afternoon, ma'am. Welcome to Department 8. Please raise your right hand, take oath of witness.
You solemnly swear or affirm testimony you're about to give in this case shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Thank you. Please have a seat over at the witness station. Okay, and you've already figured out, please slide in. The microphone actually adjusts, so you can grab it and get pretty close to it. And when you're ready, please tell us your name and tell us your relationship to Roger Hillygus.
My name is Robin Renwick, and I am Roger Hillygus' sister.
Okay, how do you, and do me a favor, just move the microphone so it's a little bit higher. There you go.
This should be good.
Slide in, and then how do you spell your last name, please?
Renwick.
Thank you, Ms. Renwick. You may proceed.
Thank you, ma'am. We're here to talk about a very discrete time frame. And I want to direct your attention to the time that your mother went in hospital for a pacemaker surgery. Did you know, or how did you know that your mom was going in for surgery? How did you learn that?
I had scheduled a lunch with her that day, so I was told that she, through Family Wizard email, I think, that she was at the hospital.
Okay, and she was in the hospital for a number of days, or do you remember how long?
I was told that she was there that afternoon,
Okay,
so I went to the hospital that afternoon.
okay. At some point, were you asked to come pick up your mother at the hospital?
The hospital notified me that she was ready to be released.
Okay,
At that point, I was not her caregiver, I was just the temporary guardian. So I notified Roger, who was the caregiver and living at her
Okay.
home, that she was ready that afternoon to be picked up.
and what did Roger say when you told him that?
He told me he was not going to pick her up and that he thought that I should take her home to care for her.
That was,
And that he
Go
would drop her suitcase off at the hospital so that I could take her home and care for her.
was this a surprise to you?
Yes, she never had lived with me in my home. She'd never stayed the night in my home. She had a home. She was living in the home with Roger, and he was paid to be her caregiver.
And there was also an agreement worked out in court that she would be at the Knoxville residence with Roger.
Right, the month before, the judge had removed Roger as guardian. She had placed me as temporary guardian. She kept Roger as the caregiver, living in the home because she didn't want to disrupt our mother.
No, now because it was a surprise, were you prepared to take care of your mother at the
No.
time?
No, I was not.
And what sort of things did you need to do to take care of, to sort of prepare for that?
I didn't have any of my mom's things that she would have needed. I didn't have, any toileting things that she would need. I didn't have any.
Did you have any clothes of hers?
No, I had nothing at my house
Did
for
you?
her.
Right. Was she in need of oxygen at the time?
I didn't have an oxygen machine for her. I didn't have her medications. I had nothing for her.
And to your knowledge, all that stuff was at the Knoxville residence with your brother?
Right.
And so, as a result, you had to scramble to get
Yes,
prepared to have her
to
there.
take care of her.
Alright, good game.
And did you, would Roger ever make the statement that he didn't want to care for your mother anymore in this time frame?
He told me he didn't want to take care of her, that I should take care of her from the hospital, that I should have an opportunity to take care of her.
And you're aware that some days after the fact, there was a complaint made against you of abuse and neglect of your mom?
Yes.
All right,
What?
and you-
After he sent her home to live with me because he would not come pick her up and take her back to her home that he was living in and being paid. Then he filed a complaint that I was neglecting our.
What? No, shut that. Okay, if that's true, that is some skeezy stuff. You don't want to be bothered to pick up your mother after surgery, and you force your sister to do it, even though she doesn't have the means of taking care of her because you have been the one taking care of her this whole time, and then you turn around and file a complaint against her for abuse and neglect? Man.
And was there anything that happened in the meantime between you and your brother that might trigger or cause him to make that complaint, to your knowledge?
Well, I think he came to the house, my house, and wanted to drop my mom's dog off at the house. And I said I couldn't take the dog. I was already taking care of our mother and that the dog would be an additional burden. So he started pounding on the door saying to answer the door. I looked out the peephole, I could see that it was him with the dog. And I wouldn't answer the door. And he was angry and yelling and said it was the police, open up. So
The police?
I think that he filed that complaint
Bro.
today.
And you've been made aware of the contents of those complaints?
Yes.
And are any of them true?
All the contents in that complaint? No, that I was mistreating my mother, that I was not keeping her clean, that I wasn't caring for her. First of all, she'd been with me for a week and he'd never once been to my house, so how would he know, number one? And number two, I had one teenage daughter living with me. We do not have alcohol. We were not giving alcohol to the kids. All of it was completely false.
Thank you. No further questions.
So Ms. Renwick, I know this is a bit unusual, but your brother is representing himself in this case, so he has legal rights to ask you some questions too, so.
Oh boy. All right, this should be fun.
You're under oath, so if he asks you questions that the court allows, you're bound to respond. Mr. Hillygus.
Isn't it true in the fact that you told the hospital that you were the guardian of our mother?
I was the temporary guardian of our mother at that time.
Is it true in the fact that you told the hospital that?
Yes.
You mentioned that I was paid for caring for our mother. Can you exactly explain how much I was paid and when I was paid?
You were paid $3,500 or $3,600 a month for care, plus you were not paying rent, you lived in the house for free, and you didn't pay for any of gas, utilities, or any additional costs.
Damn, must be nice.
$3,500. Were those checks were written to me, or who were they checks written to?
It should be in your accounting. It was never turned in correctly and complete.
Well, if you don't know the answer, you just can say, I'm not sure. I don't know.
I'm not sure.
So if the bank accounts show that I never did receive $3,500 a month, what you're saying here is perjury, is that correct?
Oh, hold on.
Oh God.
Correct way.
She's that's I object, calls for a legal conclusion. She's not an attorney, so you can't tell her you can't ask her whether or not she's committing a crime.
If she tells us something, if she answers a question that she knows the answer to and answers it falsely, that we have a problem. But that's a legal question, and you're making an argument to the court. I guess here's a question for the court. It seems that your understanding was your brother was entitled, legally entitled, to those financial benefits for caring for your mom. Live in the home without paying rent, and the utilities didn't chip in for that. And your understanding is he was entitled to receive about $3,500 a month for his efforts. Do I have that right?
Correct.
Do you know if he actually ever got $3,500 or something close to that a month for the time he was legally entitled to do so?
My belief was that he did receive money, yes.
Okay, you came to that belief because he was entitled to it? Or he wants to know if you ever saw any documents that would suggest he actually got it?
I don't remember.
Okay, fair enough. Next question, please.
You mentioned that a suitcase was dropped off at the hospital. Is that for a temporary stay, a suitcase, or did you mention a suitcase was dropped off?
Yes, a suitcase full of her belongings.
It's for a temporary stay, correct?
I don't know. I just was a suitcase.
With the items that she would need for a temporary stay?
With clothing and her items, yes.
Did you recover from her pacemaker surgery?
Well, we all know that. And let me ask you this question. So there's been either argument or testimony that your mom actually stayed with you about 5 months, or do I have that confused from the time you took her care?
I think it was closer to 6 months.
Okay, and eventually, did you get an oxygen unit for her? Did you get her medicine? Did you get other clothing and other personal items she would need?
Yes.
All right, that's really all I need right now. All right, well, last question, please.
Okay. Isn't it true in the fact that you, within a short amount of time, started making arrangements to place our mother into an assisted living? You never intended to have her come back to the home, is that correct?
At the time that you sent her home with me, that was just another sign to me that you didn't have her best interest at heart. And what's very concerning to me, that I wasn't allowed to go to the house and check on her. You had no trespassing signs. So there was really no checks and balances. And then when you sent her home with me after a surgery and a 3 or 4 day stay in the hospital, when I had no preparation and it wasn't in her best interest to go to my house, it made me realize once again that your best interests were not for our mother and for her care. So at that point, I did start looking, yes, at what would be a better situation for her, a safer situation.
So isn't it true in the fact that through the court record in the civil case, that there's documents that show that within a short amount of time, you started making arrangements to place our mother into an assisted living? You had no intention of having her come back to her home, is that correct?
It's true that I started looking at other options, yes. A safer situation for her, yes.
That's your opinion, that it would be safer, but you had no intention.
Hold on, now you're making an argument. Now you're making an argument too.
Is it
Yep,
true
he's making
that you
arguments.
had no intention of ever letting her live in her home again?
No, that's not true.
All right, Mr. Silverberg, do you have any questions of Ms. Renwick?
No, thank you.
All right, Mr. Steggy, anything else based on the responses of the witness to questions from Mr.
I have
Hillygus?
one question.
Go ahead.
The oxygen and the medication that you were able to get for your mother, did that come from Roger or did that come from some other source?
The oxygen came from Roger's house. My mom's oxygen was at Roger's house, but when he dropped off the suitcase at the hospital, he didn't drop off the
No,
oxygen.
but did you ever actually get it from him? It's a unit, right, that plugs in, that produces oxygen for the benefit of those that are using
I
it?
don't remember if I got it from Bennett Medical or from Roger, but
Okay.
I eventually did get it.
Okay, and did she have portable cans too, where she was able to walk around?
It was only nighttime oxygen.
Okay, fair enough, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you for your testimony. You may step down. Wish you a pleasant rest of the day. Thank you.
Oh my God, there's a baby playing Call of Duty.
I'm going to end this hearing in a minute with directions to the three of you, Mr. Hillygus, Mr. Silverberg, and Mr. Steggy, to file no more than a 3-page brief, position paper, argument on what you believe the court has learned from the hearing today and what the court should do on this request for other evidence. We know what the state asked for. The court has heard argument. The court has heard from 2 witnesses. Before the court makes a decision on this important issue, I want the benefit of your thoughts, no more than 3 pages to be filed and served on each other. Today's already Wednesday, 1 o'clock. Please file this no later than next Wednesday at 1 o'clock. Then I'll have a decision out by the end of the week, next week, so you're all familiar with the court's position before we have our final pretrial conference on Wednesday. Mr. Steggy, any questions?
No, thank you.
Mr. Silverberg?
No, thank you, Your Honor. Yes, I'd like to make a statement.
Hold on a second. Hold on, Mr. Ante. I'm gonna hold you.
Uh-oh.
Hold on, Mr. Ante. Mr. Ante, you have to follow the rules here in this court.
2.6, Judge.
Then you talk to your attorney, he's your advocate here. If there's something wrong, something needs to be brought to my attention. And if you say, Judge, I already did it, he's not moving on it, that's just the way it's gonna be. He gets to make strategic calls on when to bring things to the court's attention and not. It doesn't help your case, or Mr. Hilligus's.
There's a murder involved, Judge. Susan Hillygus, I want to bring it to the court's attention.
Mr. Ante, come on.
No, I'm not, come on. Sir, that, I have circumstantial evidence.
Mr. Ante, please, that's enough. I don't wanna hold you in contempt. I don't wanna remove you from the courtroom.
Ooh.
Mr. Hillygus, I wanna make sure you understand. I'm giving you a week from today to file your review of things in response to the court's brief and 3-page limit, and factor in what the witnesses said, factor in the court's questions and comments, factor in the argument today. And I'll have a decision within a day or 2 of these briefs to be filed by next Wednesday. You don't have to wait till next Wednesday. You can file it sooner if you're ready, but it gives everyone a week. I'll make a decision and I'll see everybody in 2 weeks for the
I have to make my last closing statement, and I'd like to make a record.
Well, hold on, please stop. One of the reasons I'm giving everyone a chance to file a legal brief of 3 pages, whatever you want the court to know, your final thoughts on this, please put it in writing. I've got this hearing, I have other things I have to do.
It'll just take a second. I got a notice of expert witness testimony that I'd like to file with the clerk. I've got a reply in
Hold
opposition.
on, you when I leave the bench,
Yeah.
if you have things that you want to serve on Mr. Stakey, and you're gonna have to do that off the record, I do need to.
Ante is his co-defendant. He's not a guru. He's just a dude who decided to help Hillygus allegedly kidnap Hilligus's mother.
I'd like to serve them on the clerk because you have ordered that I handwrite the documents, so I need to get copies because I can't sit there and write out 10 different documents for everybody. I don't have a copy machine, so they're handwritten. I just like to get it on the record that these are documents that I'm filing with the court. So it's a reply in opposition to the state's motion to dismiss. It's a notice of witnesses,
Well,
plus an expert.
state didn't follow motion to dismiss, but go ahead.
It's a reply to their opposition. It's a notice of intent to file a writ with the Supreme Court of Prohibition. It's a request for submission of the notice of demand to dismiss, and it's a supplement or a motion for or alternatively, this is a supplemental to my motion to dismiss the case.
Okay, so what I think I'm hearing is, Judge, I want to file this in open court with the court clerk, which if she files it, it'll go to everybody electronically, so we can dispense with the service in person.
Can I
Mr.
wait
Hold on.
for a copy though, so I have my own
Well,
copy?
you'll get it electronically,
But
but.
I don't have a paper copy. And I don't always get the laptop and it doesn't always work. I just
Oh my
need a
God.
paper copy.
All right, I'll be right
Hold
back.
on a minute. Mr. Steggy,
I'm gonna let this play, but I'll be right
If he
back.
wants to file it afterward, that's fine, but I would suggest, because of all the issues, he be referred back to the order that the court set up a procedure for him to file things, and these grievances on the spot cannot be handled by the court because there's no evidence of them.
Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. Your request to file these in open court, granted. With respect to getting back that original copy, I'm not sure what the court clerk does with it, but everyone will have an electronic copy. Other than that, I will refer you back to how the court has made decisions on this in the past. All right, with that, the court's in recess.
All right.
Okay, so the judge has not said he's going to take these things into consideration. That's bound to happen. It sounds pretty skeezy what he allegedly did. I couldn't remember a lot of what he did, but yeah. So okay. Now I don't know who this, I think this guy is a commentator. Oh, that's right. This guy's a commenter on my YouTube channel, and he was arguing with me about right to travel stuff. And so he sent me an email, and he said he's been following my channel since uncovering soft. Oh, wait. Oh, gross. He said he'd been following your channel since uncovering solid bingo cards in play at Municipal Judges Conference put on by the Tennessee Supreme Court. Please do a show on this video, provide your feedback. We'd love to hear your take on it. No shot. The solid bingo is going mainstream, people. So, of course, we have to watch this. And it sounds like it's an auditor basically crashed this conference and got kicked out.
Well, it seems like if they would tell you.
Well, I'm not saying that they're using my cards as a reference. I'm not saying that at all, guys. Come on. A second.
Well, it seems like if they.
All right. A room full of judges cheering at constitutional violations. This is a first for SOS. The name of the channel is Shields of Shame. Yeah, it sounds like First Amendment auditors. Yeah. Definitely First Amendment auditors. No, guy. Yeah, Donuts cards. I got the idea of sausage bingo from Donut Operator. And I've said as much from the very beginning. For the record, on the record, and let the record show that I was not the creator of sausage bingo. Donut Operator was.
But man, you start getting into pressing, man. I don't know. I just don't know.
You know, before you guys got here, that was what my chain advised. Like, hey, you need to get the hotel to declare them trespassing. Otherwise, we really
can't.
Yeah.
Unless the hotel says.
And when they enacted 42 U.S.C. Section.
It's not illegal it's not illegal to solicit a trespass. Tennessee governor candidate John Gentry. John Gentry, Tennessee. I'm excited. I'm excited to see what this guy's campaign page is all about. Oh my God. So he is a single issue guy, sounds like. about the judiciary. Mask mandates and vaccine passports. Abortion. Your life on abortion. Self-governance. Religious foundation. Free enterprise, education, family, right to bear arms. I mean, this is bog standard, Republican. Victims' rights. Decentralized government. Economy and jobs. Force recon. Wow. Immigration. Public. Seemed that bad from, initial glance. Okay.
1980.
Oh, this is him. This is the individual who sent me the email. Concerned citizen. Yeah.
That you can bring civil suit for anybody that presses your right.
This is not a disturbance of the peace. You're making one. These people have been doing things in secret for a long time. And that's why justice is so difficult to obtain. And we're going to...
Wait, so multiple people crashed this conference?
He's there under Article 1, Section 19 of the Constitution, freedom of the press. Right. Also, the Open Meetings Act, which says no government business shall be done in secret. And that's what's happening here. It's being done in secret. This cannot stand. It simply cannot stand. It's not proper.
I know who you are, Dave. And you're not a member of this conference. These guys and us, we're all just
cogs in the wheel.
Just cogs. If they want to try to trespass me, please cuff me and let's go.
I do not have strength to be unlawfully arrested in front of 60 judges in this room. You'll have your chance, sir.
I think he's using the if I'm being charitable to this guy, he's probably using the archaic term of archaic spelling of freedom as it's written in the Constitution, because freedom did have an E at the end in a lot of state constitutions from back in the day. That's me being very charitable to the guy.
Redress this, but no, sir. No, I'm staying right here.
Please. I can't do that, ma'am. I have a right. I have a right to be here.
Gentlemen, as far as I'm concerned, he's trespassing at this point.
If we write him a cite and pick him loose, he's going to come back, so we got to take him, I guess.
Have you ever read it? You swore not to uphold it. You ever read it? Okay.
But I don't memorize all the code.
Okay. Article 6, Section 7.
Too. I memorize all the verses.
But you know what's in it. Article 6, Section 7. No judge shall hold any other office of trust or profit. You're a judge. You don't get to have any other office at all.
Don't resist arrest.
Here in the city of Franklin, we're family.
What were the judges really doing? Playing soft sit bingo. Hey, yo! All right, some of these are not mine. Okay. In local parentis is not one I've used. Moral high ground I don't use. Lawyer cat, I'm not even sure about that one. Maritime admiralty, common law, gold standard. I don't use that one either. I haven't heard Magna Carta enough to put it in there. Color of law. Okay, the lowercase USA. That's a soft sit thing, but I've never used that. C line. Oh, you know what? I have to add that. That's what a lot of soft sits do. And when they're in court, it's called sea lioning. Yeah, these are probably. Yeah, I'm willing to bet these are probably donuts, maybe. Gaslighting. They really did it. That's awesome.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
What was going on?
Well, this is a yellow ribbon for the Tennessee National Guard. They're being deployed to Iraq and Kuwait and whatnot for a little bit. And so we're all here to give them a brief on all their benefits and support programs before they go. I don't know what's going on in here. It's another...
Gotcha. I'm going to go find out.
So we have, because we got somebody in there that doesn't belong in there. So we need them removed. But as I understand it, the hotel has to tell you that because they're on their private property. Is that correct?
I would need to check on that. You guys are running the conference?
Yes, yes. So, but there is a gentleman in there that needs to come out here.
He's refusing to leave?
Yes. And then these guys out here are trying to tie everything up that they go, it should be an open meeting, which it is not. Okay. So.
All right.
You know the speech. They're with the press. They went into this room. It's a closed.
You know the speech. We already deal with this guy before, or we already, well, not the guy specifically, but we've already know the song and dance when it comes to this community.
Only one apparently went in, and I repeatedly asked him to step out in the hall to discuss it. Advised him it was a members-only meeting. It was closed to the public, that he can sit in there all day, but they're not going to proceed with anything in there while he's in there because he's a non-member.
Okay.
So that's where we're at.
Okay. All
But as I understand it,
what I was advised by my chain of command was to get somebody from the hotel to declare them as trespassing.
Okay.
This is not, again, these guys always get salty about soliciting a trespass. That's not like improper or anything.
Is anyone here with the hotel? Or do I need... let me go see if there's a manager right quick. Hey, how y'all? Hey, is there a manager I can talk to?
That would be me, sir.
All right. Hey, they have some people. I guess it's a closed conference.
Correct.
And they want someone who's not supposed to be in there. So I think the highway patrol officer said that her superior asked if someone from the hotel management would declare them, hey, you need to get out of here.
So here is our struggle. That we were kind of wondering why, because they came up to us and asked if we would call you. And
who's they?
The gentleman, Brian Walker. Kind of wondering why, because they came up to us and asked if we would call you. And
who's they?
The gentleman, Brian Walker, that is coordinating the conference.
Okay.
And we said, well, you have a security over there. And they said, yes, but would you mind calling them? And we said, a little confused, because it's your conference and you have law enforcement. And so we then proceeded to give them your number.
Okay.
And so, Lisa, could I get your assistance over? Sure. And so, ergo, then we had the contact call you.
Okay.
Officer is informing us that the conference has asked if we would inform the unwelcome guests to vacate.
Why did you do the audio distortion there? Come on.
And so I've now kind of given him the background as to how this all initially transpired and why we're not really comfortable with.
Oh crap! It is at 1.25 playback. Never mind. My bad.
How this is all transpired. And so now the officer, I guess it sounds.
Yeah,
like
see, this is an extra job that the state troopers working, and so she asked me to see if management could. Her superior asked if you all could say, hey, you all need to leave, so therefore we could trespass and either get out or.
I'm not real sure.
All right, okay.
I can try to call my boss and see, but I'm just not.
I'm going to be hanging down there where the fun's happening. Okay, thank you. Bet. Yeah, I spoke with someone I spoke with the THP deputy who's working this. She said her supervisor asked if someone from the hotel could say, hey, you all need to get out of here, so could you trespass, and if they didn't, they're not comfortable with that. So, I don't know where we stand, buddy. My sergeant's back here, so see what he says.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, it seems like if they would tell you that.
Yeah, I know.
Well, they're not letting the press in here. And the Tennessee Constitution, Article 1, Section 19, it says that the printing press is free to every citizen.
Well, the one that presumes you're press. Number two, just because you're press doesn't mean you're permitted to be in a closed meeting, though. It's to a members only meeting.
To examine the proceedings of any branch or officer. And so, we've got the administrative office of courts here controlling entry, and so this is a proceeding of a branch of government. they're acting unlawfully by preventing the press from going in. So I'm just here watching that. I was hopeful that they were going to be allowed in there. They're talking. They're conducting business in there.
1 second. What's that?
He's just,
Sir, you've been asked to. You're not allowed inside. Okay?
I'm a member of the press.
I understand.
I'm a member of the press.
There's also sides of a public meeting. It's not a public meeting.
Public meeting.
It's
That's right. It's a public
closed
meeting. It's a public meeting. Thank you, officer. That is
Okay,
correct.
That's fine.
And it is a public meeting, and we're paying for it by taxes.
Okay. Well, they have stipulations stating that you have to be invited to.
Yeah, the stipulations don't overwhelm the constitutional right in Article 19.
Okay, but he's wrong in saying it's a public meeting. They said it's a conference, members only, and so you can't. That doesn't mean you have to be there. Just, even if they're state officers or state officials or employees, I should say, either officers or employees of the state. If it's a closed meeting at a conference, that doesn't give you carte blanche access to it as a member of the press.
No problem. You'll have your chance to address that later, but as of right now, they do have a sign up saying that it is a closed meeting.
They've got the administrative officer courts here. That makes it, it's public. It's
No.
a proceeding.
No. This is not a proceeding. It's a conference. What? The date this happened was November 2021, but this video was uploaded yesterday. A conference is not an official proceeding. Just because state employees are congregating does not make it automatically open to the public, including the press. What?
Okay. Well, I don't know what capacity they're here under. I don't know if it's.
They're judges. Yes.
Okay. You should be concerned as a citizen. That we've got a branch of government acting without.
Yeah, I do, Chaos.
Transparency.
Okay, hold on. I'll be right back. Hang on, I need to calm myself down. Let's calm things down. You guys can enjoy Winston for a little bit. Down. Within. Hey. Within. Are you my baby boy? You are. Okay. So So like there's like a national association of governors, right? Where it's actually it is actually an association of all of governors of the United States, and that they are able to like, and I'm pretty sure they actually have a conference that they can go to. That's like it's obviously going to be a members only thing. You know what I mean? Or there's also a national I think there's like a national association of state legislatures, where like all like state assemblymen and state legislators are able to and I'm sure there's a conference for that too. That doesn't, and for them congregating in that one place to discuss like policy and, you know, a procedure, you know, whatever the hell those guys do over there, that doesn't make it a public proceeding. Or like subject to the Open Public Meetings Act, which is what I'm assuming they're going to cite here.
It's like, you know, are they doing something wrong?
Well, I don't know if they're acting in an official capacity today.
Why would they not want the press in there? I mean,
that's the thing. That's what the cop just said. They're not acting in their official capacity today.
you should really be concerned about that yourself. So my name is John Gentry. I'm a candidate for governor, and
I don't care.
Just asked me to come down and witness this today. What's going on?
Press.
A large part of my platform is reforming corruption in the judiciary.
Yeah, I bet it is.
And we've got, you know, the Tennessee Board of Judicial Conduct. They have judges that oversee judges. The Constitution expressly prohibits that. The Constitution says no judge shall hold any other office of trust or profit under this state of the United States. So when you have judges,
wait, what?
In the Board of Judicial Conduct overseeing other judges, they're holding expressly prohibited offices.
What?
Why do you think?
So in hold on, in Tennessee, judiciary. Board of Judicial Conduct. He's saying that the fact that there are current judges on the board, there are 16 members on the board total, and 8 are either current or former judges. But he's saying that the fact that there are current judges on the board, period, is a violation of the Tennessee Constitution. Under what basis? Has he challenged this?
Why do you think the founders did that? Why do you think the founders said no judge shall hold any other office? You get to be a judge.
I don't know, man. I don't know, man. All I see.
Yeah, he doesn't know.
You know,
why would you expect a cop to know the intricacies of an issue involving judges and the Tennessee Constitution?
And believe me, I'm just walking up here. I don't want to step on anybody's rights. But I see a sign posted right here, only conference members and staff permitted in the session. So,
well, is that admitted?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Here's the video.
Administrative office of the court.
I have no idea. I just walked up.
I would say, you know, if there's administrative office of the court personnel in there, I believe there is. But it's not members only. It's who they want in there, and they don't want the press. So, you know, if you're going, if you're going to keep them from being.
Oh, damn it! Sorry, forgot to change it. My bad.
Because they're not members. You got to go in there and see if there's any other people that are not members of the judicial conference. And I tell you, you've got
apparently you're the ones we're called about. So
and you've got the administrative office of courts here. That's you know, gatekeeping this thing. And the Constitution.
That's not gatekeeping.
The printing press is free to every citizen to examine the proceedings of any branch.
This isn't a proceeding. This isn't This is not a proceeding.
Or officer, and this is a proceeding of a branch of government, talking about how they're going to conduct themselves with a certain class of litigants. That's what they're talking about. And so you should be extremely concerned as a citizen of this state that you've got a branch of government acting without transparency.
Oh my God.
And I would say, you know, are they doing something wrong? Like, why would you not want the press in there? You know,
it's none of your business.
It's not allowed in. What's that? Are you the only press they're not allowed in?
I'm not trying to get in. I'm a candidate for governor of the state of Tennessee, and I'm a large part of my
telling you to stay out.
What's this guy again? John
Who are we talking to that
Gentry.
said get out?
Press.
Hey,
Okay, all right.
I'm with Nuka Radio in Chattanooga.
Okay.
Officer Jay Carson is at the town of Franklin.
I'm just, you know, as a candidate for office, I'm just disturbed. You know?
So, all right. Hold on. So in the 2020, this was in 2021. In the 2022 election for governor of Tennessee, John Gentry was a very, 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 very distant third, with Bill Lee, the Republican, getting 64.9% of the vote. Jason Martin getting the Democrat getting 32.9% of the vote, and John Gentry getting 0.9% of the vote.
Okay. Your Honor, I'm David Tulis with Nuka Radio.
I'm suing the governor.
I'm suing the governor. You want to make a statement about that?
Yeah, this lady in the mustard color behind us, the trooper asked when we got here if she was alerted by her supervisor if we could get someone from the hotel to say, hey, they're not welcome. And I brought that up to them. At the time, they said they weren't comfortable with that.
So, but this belongs to the hotel. I mean, they set the rules of who's allowed in here and who's not allowed in here.
I would assume, yeah. And again, see a sign, only conference members and staff permitted sessions.
Well, who is renting it? Do we know?
I don't know. But I would assume the girl working extra job.
Apparently there's still somebody inside, correct?
I don't know.
Did you go and check to see if...
I talked with them at the front desk. They said, no, we're not comfortable with telling anybody they're not allowed to be here.
Okay.
But they're not allowed to be in here. If it's a closed session?
I assume if I was renting a hall for my birthday party...
Can't be anyone could open those doors. What? The cops are wrong. It's not a session. It's a private conference. And when they rent out that space, they have the right to exclude people from that private conference, from that rented space. That's the thing. That's the thing. Oh my God. Just because the doors are unlocked does not make it like open or for anybody to walk in. I hate this. I hate this so much.
And someone came in and said, hey, no, you're not invited to my party. But man, you start getting in the press and man, I don't know. I just don't know.
But he didn't want in there.
Not the governor.
Right.
The guy's running.
The guy
press,
filming.
and supposedly there's still a guy in there that they want removed.
Well, that's what I think troopers for.
You want to talk to her?
Yeah. So is there still somebody in there that you want moved? Okay. What is he? Or this person? There's a member of the press?
Yes.
Was this guy a new member of the press? No, he was the governor. He was a
Candidate for governor. John Gentry.
Okay. Who rented this?
My press pass can be found in the library. Oh God.
Who held this? Do we know?
That I do not know.
Because the hotel is giving us the thing of they don't want to get involved in it. So it's just
I mean,
one of
I would
those.
think the AOC reserved
Yeah,
rooms in this
would
room
be one would
on
think.
behalf of the
You know, we
conference.
kind of have a similar analogy. If I rented this out for a retirement party.
Right.
Hey, what's up, Nevada judges? The man of the hour. Hey, we gotta watch this man's his news conferences, or news interviews, because Alex, because of the shenanigans that we saw yesterday or the day before, my man is gone national. So shout out to our Nevada judges.
And somebody just walked down. Yeah, I'd be like, oh, leave.
Right.
But, so this other person that's in here, he's with the press.
Yes.
Is he causing a ruckus, or is he? Do you know? Is he?
He's just sitting right here in the back.
He's running his pencil.
Running his pencil. I like that. I use that one. Okay. Have you asked him to leave?
Repeatedly.
And he says no.
Yes. They explained to him that it's a members-only conference. But they're not gonna further their discussion in there with the non-members.
Right.
I mean, it's,
So it's a non-member. I'm trying to think if it'd be trespassing.
No, it can't be trespassing.
Yeah, I know
because this there's been an easement. This is a government operation right now. It's a government property, effectively by easement.
Hey, what's up? Wait, did the defendant launching at the judge actually go international?
I believe the hotel said that.
Yeah, and the hotel says they don't want to get involved.
Right.
So then it gets into a private property issue when it comes to the hotel.
Right.
It's kind of like a wreck in a parking lot. You know, it's like, well, yeah.
This is, oh my God. What constitutes a meeting? Here's his own effing definition that he has here. What constitutes an open meeting? The Tennessee Open Meetings Act defines a meeting as the convening of a governing body of a public body for which a quorum is required to make a decision or to deliberate towards the decision. Governing body is any public body consisting of 2 or more members with the authority to make decisions for recommendations to a public body on a policy and administration. This is not that. These are a group of judges from around the state coming together. They're not there to make a vote or make a decision on policy. As far as I understand, that's not what they're there for. The judges are not members of a body like your public utilities board or the local finance board. They're judges coming together at a 3-day conference or whatever the hell it is. This is not a meeting of a governing body.
You can't run a stop sign in a parking lot because it's our
Can you
stop sign.
drive in a parking lot, or can you only travel in a parking lot?
Travel.
That's right.
You gotta just travel on a road.
Travel.
It's like you can only travel on a road.
And you can only be
You can only
invited.
drive on a car or in a car. I guess you can drive.
Well, you drive in a motor vehicle and you travel in a car.
Yeah, there you go.
Right.
Oh God, this member of the press is also doing the right to travel bull crap. No.
Well, so we're kind of at it. We're kind of at it.
According to the law, if you
Yes.
the statute, that's
Oh, yeah.
fine. All privileged activity is operation and driving of a motor vehicle.
Oh my God.
I could tell. Real quick on that one. So
effectively,
we've asked this guy to leave. As THB, we've asked him to leave, and he refuses to leave.
Correct.
On the basis of it being members only type thing?
Correct.
he's there under Article 1, Section 19 of the Constitution, freedom of the press.
Right.
And also the Open Meetings Act, which says no government business shall be done in secret, and that's what's
there. Okay, I gotta stop. I don't want to curse, but he just butchered an incorrect definition of an open public meeting, or what a public meeting is under the Open Meetings Act. We just saw on this video the definition. It did not say anything about government officials are not allowed to meet in secret. That is the most diminutive weak sauce definition.
What's happening here, it's being done in secret. This cannot stand.
It's not a meeting.
It's not proper.
I wonder why they chose a public venue like this instead of like the Capitol.
Because where else are you going to have a cadre of 300 to 500 judges? I don't know if you know this, but guess what? When your state's like League of Municipalities has its conference, there's a lot of people there, and therefore it's a regular like town hall or even the Capitol building is not going to be large enough to accommodate a group of people like that. So of course it's going to be at a hotel or at a conference center.
To do something.
Well, I mean, it's just it's a conference for the members that are a part of the conference.
Yeah, I got you. Are they involved, you know, the military stuff?
I'm losing my mind.
I didn't know if that's if they opened the...
Be very clear with that. The guard that's here is not involved in this whatsoever. Totally separate event.
So what is it?
It's
a ribbon event. They're getting ready to deploy. They're getting ready to play? We just had some of our people just come back. So. Okay. Well, let me go make a phone call to my higher ups because I don't know. You know, this is going to be one of those challenges.
Before you guys got here, that was what my chain advised. Like, hey, you need to get the hotel to declare them trespassing. Otherwise, we really
can't.
Yeah.
Unless the hotel says.
Okay, so we don't have any problem in walking up to this guest and asking him to leave. I don't have any issue at all in doing that. We walked over to do that, like you asked, and y'all were talking to him. So we assumed
he's actually inside. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I keep saying I need a drink.
Thought you were talking.
Yeah, that's the problem.
I apologize.
I'm gaining as I go.
I think we all are. I mean, we have no issue in asking them if they don't have a registration for the conference to please leave the conference room. That's what you need us to do.
It's a private conference. Yes, he could walk around in the hotel or outside of the conference room as much as he wants. This would be very different in a Vegas hotel or resort. I would actually want to know your input, O&J, on this, because my understanding is that they could be kicked out of a conference room if it's reserved. Sorry, I'm stuttering because I'm getting frustrated.
Is there a registration needed for this conference?
Yes, and it's a private conference. Dues have to be paid.
Did that guy comply with Rule 30? Well, if he didn't, he can't be in there. It's as simple as that.
I don't know what Rule 30 is, but if y'all will show me who we need to
I'm
ask to leave,
going to direct you to them because I have not seen this person.
Let me.
I've made myself hangry now. I'm actually hangry now. Our event just says the judges often hold their conferences in larger hotels because it's safer, and also security would, without hesitation, trespass and remove them. It's unsafe to randomly go to a judge conference. I would agree with you there. My issue with this whole thing is like it's still when you reserve that space, you can be allowed to kick them out. Even if the hotel is open to the public, as it were, it's a reserved space.
Sir, I'm David Chillis.
Sir,
did you comply with Rule 30? You give a notice? If you can't, you got to listen. It is. It's a judicial proceeding.
Sir.
It's not. Whoever this guy is a moron because he's wrong. This is not a judicial proceeding. It's not. Whoever is saying this is talking out of his something. This is not supposed to be a judicial proceeding.
Sir, you've been asked to leave. I need you to step outside, please.
I have a right to be here. This is a judicial proceeding. I'll turn off my camera, but I have a right to be here. If this man is correct, it's a judicial proceeding, then I have a right to be here because the courts are open in Tennessee.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Which is it?
Well, they have told you that you're not allowed to be here, so I'm going based on what they're saying.
Thank you for the $5. I used to set up conference attendees. They have to pay and be registered. Their private events. Period. I agree. No. Yeah. Thank you for the $5. Yes. It's just Dios mío. Like, and whoever just said this is a judicial proceeding is wrong. This is not a judicial proceeding. Now the judges are there. They like you could take off of work because going to a conference like this can be used as this is part of your business as the judge. Like you could go to this because you're going here as part of the conference, so it's part of public business, or not public business, it's part of your duties as a job to go to the conferences like these, but that doesn't make it an official judicial proceeding.
Okay.
Sir.
No, you're not going up there.
You need to step outside in the hallway. Okay?
I'm here to cover.
I understand,
private
and I've
events.
noted.
Management has asked me to leave, so it's time to leave.
I'm here. I'm David Toulis.
I know who you are, David. And you're
radio.
not a member of this conference.
No, but
There is actually the fact that this guy knows who this guy is. I'm actually kind of curious. There's got to be some background lore we're missing here. Now I'm intrigued. I want to know the backstory, okay?
this
And
is
they
a
have
public
asked you to
event
leave.
paid for by taxpayers. I don't want to hear it. And it is I'm here under Article 1, Section 19 of the Constitution.
Duly noted. Please step into the hallway.
I'm here by right.
Okay.
I have a right to be here, just as these people are who have to be here by duty. They're here by duty. They have to be here under the statute. And I have a right to be here. And
I don't know that. I've never heard of it being required by statute to hold a conference for municipal or state judges. I've never heard that before. But it could be a thing in Tennessee. I don't know. Maddo311, thank you for the $4.99 USD. Can a rule of judges defer from one single? Maybe.
here volunteering myself in because I'm covering this event. That's why I'm here.
Duly noted. I need you to step into the hallway.
I just want to sit down.
Oh, they told you
and make notes.
you were not welcome.
I'm gonna have to ask.
This is a public meeting. It's not a public meeting.
It's not a
It's our
public
president. So if I could have the police.
I understand that.
But if we could step out, I'll be happy to continue to talk to you.
You are an agent of the state. This is a public meeting. I have a constitutionally secured right to
I
be
can
here.
ask you to walk out. We'll continue this conversation outside, but right now, they have rented this room.
I understand
They
that.
have a right to have anyone with a badge on
Sir,
there.
no,
If you
you're
don't
not.
have a badge, I'm gonna have to ask you to leave the room.
I understand that, and what I'm explaining to you is this is a public meeting, and I have a constitution.
It's not a public meeting.
The state cannot meet behind closed doors.
But if you wanna step outside, we'll continue this conversation forward.
I'm here to report on these
So I'm
proceedings.
gonna ask you one more time, please don't make me get the police involved. Please have a conference and let's have a conversation.
I don't want to have the police involved either. I have a constitutionally.
Yeah, there are at least 3 individuals in there. There's the dude carrying his camera around. There's this individual who was the one who actually emailed me today and sent me a link to this video. And then there's the candidate.
I would advise you to. I understand that, and I have a.
Man, all right. Whoever said wings in the chat, you won. Darn it. Wait, oh, wait. 98 HK. Hold on. Oh, really?
And I have an implicit right of access because it's a public meeting in a private room. So I have an easement by necessity to be able to come here. It's no different than if it was a school board meeting. So let's say the school board decided they want.
This is not the equivalent of a school board meeting. Right? a school board meeting has members of a singular body. Yeah? A singular body is there to make decisions or discuss issues that may lead to a decision by that body. That's not what this is.
I want to have a meeting. Did they exclude me from the school board meeting simply because it's on private property?
They have a right to have who they invite in. So at this point, you don't have a badge. That's not a badge for the conference.
I don't have to have a badge for the conference.
There were registrations paid to attend this conference. You did not pay to attend this conference. I need to ask you.
I'm a member of the press.
If the director of this says it's a paid conference, you have to be registered to be here at the conference, and you're not invited, whether you're president or president. I'm going by what they say. I know you say a constitutional right. I know, but then they say, well, no, you have to be a registered.
Can I show you the law? I mean,
you have it on you?
Yep. I absolutely do. Absolutely.
Let's sit back here and look at it.
I'd like to stay here to look at it. I'm not here to create a disorderly. I'm not here to be disorderly. I'm not here to create any kind of problem.
You're not disorderly, but you're hinging on it because they can't carry on whatever they're doing.
They can. I'll be happy to sit right here and just monitor.
But they don't want to if someone unregistered is here.
Well, if it's just simply an educational meeting, I don't understand.
I don't know what it means about. I don't know anything about what's going on. All I know is the hotel staff who owns this says that the registered person, you're going to be trespassed.
You're trespassing in the middle.
I figure that that's probably what it's going to be, and I'm okay with that. I'm prepared. I've already got a habeas petition in my pocket right here, so I can count on that. I would advise you guys to contact your corporate legal team before you violate my civil rights. And you can do whatever you want to do, but it is a violation of my civil rights. If I have a constitutional right to be here to report on these public officials, which under Article 1, Section 19 of the Constitution, I do. We also have in Tennessee something called the Open Meetings Act, which this right here constitutes an open.
This is not an open meeting.
This constitutes a meeting of public officials under Title 8, Chapter 44 of Tennessee Code. So they can trespass, they can do whatever they want, but the judiciary cannot meet in secret. It is a public policy of this state that meetings not be conducted in secret. They can't do that. They can't come here. They're just like the Secretary of State deciding we're going to have elections in the Embassy Suites Hotel, and we're going to trespass anybody that's a Trump supporter or any.
I knew this was an NBC tweet. I knew this was an NBC Suites because they have like the internal atrium.
Anybody that supports Biden, or anybody that's black, or anybody that's women, they can't do that. It is a policy of this state not to have meetings in private, behind closed doors. So I'm here by constitutional right, I'm here by statutory right, and I have, if the state is going to have a public meeting in a private venue, and I have the right to cross that private venue and to be here as a member of the press and report on this.
Yeah, this private property. This is private property owned by Embassy Suites.
It was at the state capitol? Yeah.
But the state cannot come onto private property in circumvention of the Open Meetings Act. That's what they're trying to do. And they're using her as a mechanism to try to trespass me so that I can't be here. But I have a constitutional right to be here because it's a public meeting.
Sir, all I can tell you, it's private property.
I understand. I understand.
I need to ask you one more time, please, to leave this meeting.
I can't do that,
You're
ma'am.
going to
I
have
have
to
a
leave
right.
one way or the other.
I have a right to be here.
So you're going to have to leave one
If
way or the other.
if I'm arrested, then they can do that.
Gentlemen,
but
as far as
and
I'm
prepared
concerned,
to
he's
do that if that's the
trespassing at this
case.
point.
But
Gentlemen, as
I-
far as I'm concerned, he's trespassing at this point.
All right.
Okay,
You're
sorry.
trespassing. Hop on out.
Okay. Are you going to arrest me?
Right now, you're still being detained while we decide more.
Okay. Let's go out here.
I don't know what to tell you. Private property. The lady from. Let me finish my sentence. The lady who is managing this private property says, "You out." So I'm following.
And if that's
an infringement of your rights.
It is an infringement of my rights, and if you guys need to arrest me, please do that, is because it will create a constitutional crisis. I have a constitutional right to be here, and I have the right to be able to do that. These are public officials, and it is the public policy of this state that people cannot have public meetings behind closed doors in secret. That is the policy of this state. Title 8, Chapter 44, Section 101. Be happy to show it to you. I've already showed it to this trooper right here. She was very kind. She understood exactly what I was showing her. And I also have a application for acknowledgement of public right of access that I issued to Chief Justice Page yesterday. Haven't heard back from that. Chief Justice Page is their supervisor, so they have a position.
Who's there? Who are you pointing?
Director Tate and Rachel Harmon. Don't know them. I've had really good conversations with Ms. Harmon, but we're in an impasse on that. They don't get to tell me what my rights are. My rights are my rights. What I'm saying is that the Administrative Office of the Courts, this is a taxpayer-funded event. You have one political body making policy recommendations on the administration of public justice.
Are you sure? 98 HKG? I'm trying to find this case that he filed. But according to this federal case, Hillygus versus Orange in 2023, it was dismissed in part for timeliness. We could read this later. Hold on a second.
That's being done behind closed doors. That cannot happen under our state law. I have a right under Article 1, Section 19 of the press to go in.
Hey, Born to be Free. I've been meaning to respond to your latest comment, but I haven't got around to it.
In there and report on everything that they're doing. If they want to try to trespass me, please cuff me and let's go.
No, I admit it. I admit what I'm hearing. Like I said, I just walked out. I don't know who's
I
in it,
understand.
what's the meeting about. But when all I can go by is whatever it's set up for. This lady who's managing this property says, hold on just a second.
Who is him?
Okay.
Someone different? No.
Mr. Tullis. Mr. Tullis?
Yes, sir.
Is she right?
I'm David Tillis with Nougat Radio. Hello, ma'am. I'm a reporter.
I understand. At this point in time, you are trespassing on a private event, on private property. I'm going to ask you to leave, please. They've rented this space. This is their space. You are not registered to be in their conference, so I do need to ask you to leave at this point.
And may I ask who you are, please? What is your name?
My name is Lisa Hegwood.
Hegwood.
And I work for the hotel.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay?
Well, this
So please.
ma'am, this property has been ceded to the state for this event. It's not a private property anymore. This is a state body. This is a state piece of property right now by easement.
No. What? It's it's Nougat. Nougat Radio. NOOGA Radio. He didn't say the word, okay? He didn't say the word. All right, I'm looking at another article. It's Nougat. NOOGA. Guys, don't worry about it. Chill. It's okay. We're good.
And I understand you're trying to do your job, and I'm just trying to do mine.
I appreciate that.
Okay?
Thank you.
So please.
Hey, Mila's mommy.
No, ma'am. I'm so sorry.
Gentlemen, at this
Sir,
point in time, I'm going to ask
please
you
stand
who
up and
is
leave.
trespassing on this property.
Mr. Tullis?
Yes, sir.
Please. You'll have your chance to redress this, but
No, sir.
right now you
No, I'm sitting right here.
Okay.
I'm sitting right here.
You'll be trespassing if you do not leave, sir.
And who's against whom? This is against you. Trespassing against which party? Who's the offended party?
Also, yeah, before we cut into that, the fact that this is holding a conference of judges does not make this place suddenly like an open public forum, like the Capitol building, you skank. Sorry.
The suites are the ones that are trespassing you, because you're not registered for this conference. This is for the conference members only who have registered.
They have not been in any way injured. Neither has the conference in any way been injured by my presence
That's
here.
going to be up to you to take.
I'm sorry, what? So are you allowed to just walk onto my property? And if you're not injured, I can't trespass you?
Take it up with the embassy suites, with their corporate office. They are
Well, that's
going to
convenient.
trespass you. They'll leave. So we're
That's
gonna
very
ask you nicely.
convenient that you can, the conference can put this on the hotel. The corporation now is liable for this action. I don't think that's proper.
Well,
is there a judge going to say that this needs to be a conference? The conference needs to trespass me. That needs to be what happens.
Okay. Well,
The conference needs to trespass me if that's what's happening. It's not happening.
Yes, it is.
I'm not
hotel is-
trespassing.
the hotel is-
I'm here as a member of the press. This is a public function paid for by taxpayers. I have a right to be here.
You're
I'm
gonna
not
take that
leaving.
up. Take
No,
that up.
I'm not
with
taking it up
embassy.
anywhere.
Yes, you are going to leave.
No.
Mr. Toulis, please stand up.
Jeff, come on in here. We're supposed to get busy.
Okay, then at this point you're under arrest. Stand up.
Okay. No.
Stand up.
No.
I'm not going to do that.
Put that down. Stand up for me, please. Don't make a scene in here, please.
No, sir. I'm not going to stand up. You have to.
Oh my God.
Stand up, Mr. Toulis. Mr. Toulis, please stand up.
Look, I have the strength to report the news.
Don't resist arrest. Okay, then stand up and makes it easier.
Make it easier.
Okay.
Would you like us to get EMS here so that you can...
I have strength for all kinds of things.
Okay, well,
But I
stand
don't
up.
have strength to assist you in violating my rights to be here. I have a right to be here, and I do not have the strength to stand up to help you do that. I'm not going to cooperate, okay?
Mr. Toulis, honestly, this is a lot easier way.
No, I have a right to be here.
No, you need to stop resisting,
Article 1,
sir.
Section 19, I have a right to be here. I have a right to be here. Article 1, Section 19, is there a city court judge somewhere going to intervene for this reporter exercising his rights to be a member of the press?
No.
And these people are going to arrest me, and you're going to blame the judicial conference is asking the hotel to trespass me? Is not the judicial conference going to trespass me for this public meeting? This is a public meeting. A public meeting paid for by taxpayers.
This is not a public meeting.
And it's under the
Is this
Tennessee Open Meetings Act. Why am I being arrested for covering this meeting?
Can we ask you a question? Is this yours?
Yes, it is mine.
Mr. Toulis, I'm going to ask you one more time, okay?
I don't have
If
the
you
strength to do that.
I understand that.
Oh, he's gonna. Oh, he's gonna suck. There are the bingo cards. Hey, he got the bingo cards.
To have you...
Scandalous. They're playing soft sip bingo. God forbid.
Mr. Toulis, I'm going to ask you one more time.
See?
I don't have
If
the
you
strength to do that.
I understand that.
I
I'm
don't
going to
have
call
the strength.
EMS here to have you wheeled out. Is that okay?
Please do that. I do not have the strength to cooperate in my unlawful arrest.
Okay.
I'm unlawfully being arrested. I do not have the strength for that.
Please.
I do not have strength to be unlawfully arrested in front of 60 judges in this room, serving the state of Tennessee, paid for by municipal taxes, county taxes. I have a right to be here. I suggest that the meeting proceed, and if you let me, I will just make notes on my laptop, not run my phone, but I have a right to be here, at least to hear what's being said. I mean, I will agree to not run my phone if someone would intervene on my behalf and say, okay, well, if he agrees to that and the speaker doesn't want his video made, fine, I'll let the handcuffs go, ignore that, and just sit here quietly and make my report. I'm here to make a report on this conference. I have a right to be here. I have made my demands to Justice Page by letter, certified letter. It's in my paperwork. And I have a right to be here. This is not proper in any way, that judges, who are all attorneys, who know the law, who have to uphold the law, allow a member of the press, Nooga Radio, 96.9 Chattanooga, to be arrested for covering a public meeting. This is a public meeting.
Oh, Nooga Radio, as in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Okay, there we go.
The public has a right to know. Or are you all neo-feudal lords over the rest of us peons and hayseeds and bumpkins? I'm from Saudi Daisy, Tennessee. Am I a bumpkin?
I mean,
I do not have the strength to cooperate in an unlawful arrest. This is a kidnapping. I'm a member of the press. This is a public event. I'm here with my laptop, my badge, and my computer, and my phone, and you're going to let me be kidnapped by these officers without warrant. You have a duty under 47-103 to get a warrant first. Get a magistrate to approve of this. You have a duty.
No, because right now it's trespassing.
No, it's not trespassing. This is a public venue. This is the easement of this event. It makes this not a private place. The easement of the engagement of the AOC of this place makes it a public venue. It's not a private venue anymore. It is not a private venue.
No.
It's a public venue, and I'm
here
to cover a public event.
No.
Please take the handcuffs off and let me sit and get my computer.
No.
I have a right to make a report.
You'll have a chance to explain to the
Get a warrant. This is not a disturbance of the peace. You're making it one, but there's no reason this is proper. This is not a proper arrest. Okay, it's not proper.
I want to see you go out of here smoothly.
I do too.
Okay. So can you just say that you don't consent to any of this, but yet still walk?
No, okay. I do not consent, and I cannot cooperate.
I do not consent.
How many you think are have?
Expecting a gunfight? Those are what?
If it happens,
14 round clips.
Better be safe than sorry, right?
4. Has anybody on your force ever had a gunfight in a war-like situation that requires that much ammo?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you guys were all about gun rights. Why are you so huffy about the officer's magazine capacity?
Like situation. If I was shot at once, to me that would be a warlike situation. One shell toward my head.
Your Honor, this is a secret event. I'm trying to cover it. Judge Bean, I'm trying to cover this event. Why is it a secret? The Open Meetings Act says nothing shall be done in secret in our government. It can't be done in secret. And these people have been doing things in secret for a long time. And that's why justice is so difficult to obtain. I do not consent to this. I do not have any medical problems. Is this a gurney?
So, yeah, gurney.
But I'm not. It's not. You know. It's not ruptured.
We're gonna go get that checked out. Come on with me. I can see you right there. Scoot on back, Dick. There we go. Y'all got my card.
Yeah, I did. Thank you.
If you're a magistrate, I can at least vouch that he's lived where he's lived. He's a peaceful person.
Okay.
This is.
Oh yeah, he's
okay.
just. That'd be up to them. We heard her say we're trespassing, so that's enough for us.
Is your body cam on by chance?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I don't really know without it.
Can I get some information from you so I can get that in the open meeting tax? Do you have a card?
Yes.
Christopher, thank you very much. Very kind. I really appreciate that.
All right. Have you got a card as well?
I don't, but I'll be happy to write my name and information down.
Thank you.
Only that he's a member of the press.
Wait, why is he going in with EMS? I think I missed that.
You guys transported him?
We just they wanted him out, so now he's out.
I gotta take him this morning. I mean, if we write him a cite and kick him loose, he's gonna come back, so we gotta take him, I guess.
We as in EMS or we as in law enforcement?
Law enforcement, but he's gonna be...
You decide. We're not going anywhere until you decide what you want us to do.
Let me find out from storage. So, if we ask him if he gets cited and released, is he gonna come back? If he says yes, then we're gonna take him?
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay.
But see, now,
We can do it like that.
this is all this piece of property. It can eliminate that problem. This is trespassing.
Yes.
If it comes in here. So, yeah, I mean, the room is separate. But as in suites, as the management, they do not want him back on their property.
Correct.
Can I ask you?
So if he refuses this, I'm gonna go back, then we're taking him. Can we just drive him right to the jail and have to get a chance?
It's a misdemeanor. It's a misdemeanor, and it's going to continue if we don't take you custody.
I'm gonna go H and
No, you call it.
they're gonna leave, so they're not gonna give it any more problems. They've made their
The judge is a little nervous about walking out to their car. I'm like, look,
they're gonna be out of here.
they'll talk you to death. They'll fix it.
But if anything else, give us a call back. Come back. If anything else, just give a holler.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate you.
In the Title 8, Chapter 44, Section 101 of our Tennessee Code says it is the public policy of this state that we will not have meetings conducted in secret. So what they're doing is a violation of state law, and they're using this
This is not a meeting by that definition.
venue to circumvent state law.
Sounds like a good lawsuit to come up against them for not letting you in.
No, it absolutely is, and that's why I want you to arrest me. I want to be cited. I want to be ticketed.
How do you guys reconcile this, like in your conscience? Like, how do you reconcile this in your conscience? I'm sure you probably know because you're involved in court proceedings at some point, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
These guys are corrupt to the core.
They're corrupt.
I'm a candidate for governor in 2022, and there's tens of thousands of Tennesseans that stand with me and recognize the rampant corruption in our court.
He says tens of thousands, but about 15,000 Tennesseans voted for him. So he's not entirely wrong.
And it's because of this lack of transparency. And
I think almost 700,000 Tennesseans voted for the Republican who won.
And, you know, man, I've seen it, particularly out of family court and juvenile court, that, you know, these people drink themselves to sleep trying to numb the pain out of these courtrooms. And I mean, I've watched them. Judge just say, no, sit down, shut up. I don't want to hear what you have to say. Like, it's a denial of due process. You know?
Well, unfortunately, we're not the moral police.
Section 241. Any person that injures or oppresses a constitutional right is subject to 10 years in prison and/or fine. And
18 USC.
42 USC Section 1983 that you can bring civil suit for anybody that oppresses your right. 42 USC 1983 was enacted by Congress specifically because of state court corruption. And one of the main proponents of that was Senator Osborne. And he said, sheriffs having eyes to see not, judges having ears to hear not, and all the apparatus put in place to ensure justice is sculpted away from as if something to be feared. And one of the most dangerous things a person can do is seek justice in the court of law. It's because these courts are corrupt. It is destroying the country. It's tearing at the fabric, ripping families apart. You know, when you get in these divorce cases, both partners lose, and it's destroying.
Oh my God, bro! Why do you have to fulfill the stereotype? Of course, that. Oh no, he's gonna talk about child support, isn't he? And custody. Ugh.
The children, they're extorting these attorney fees. They don't pay
the attorneys
to get a divorce, and they engage in vexatious litigation to keep the courtroom going and keep them coming back.
More money.
And so
right.
now here's the problem. Is I'm not pointing at you right now. It's how it's on. In 1971, they created the Tennessee Board of Judicial Conduct, and they filled out the membership of that board, all judges.
They're not all judges. I just looked that up. You dirty harlot. There we go. You stupid harlot. There's 16 members of the board. 6 of them are either current or former judges.
All of them judges.
Oxford Garden Hen House.
Now, the Tennessee Constitution, I don't know if y'all swear to uphold that, do you? Okay.
Yeah.
Tennessee Constitution, Article 1, Section, no, Article,
matter, we wouldn't know the difference.
No, this is Article 6.
But you should.
No, this is Article 6. Have you ever read it? You swore not to uphold it. You ever read it? Okay.
But I don't memorize all the code.
Okay. Article 6,
I read
Section
the Bible
7.
too. I memorized all the verses.
But you know what's in there.
Article 6, Section 7. No judge shall hold any other office of trust or profit. You're a judge, you don't get to have any other office at all. And so they protected us, right? For the General Assembly, what they did, in Article 5, the House has the sole power of impeachment. And who can be impeached? Attorneys for the state, judges.
I have not, Gracie. All right, this was sufficiently enraging. I'll be right back. Ugh, all right, I'm back. Okay. I ordered half garlic parmesan, half Cajun. It's on its way. All right, so we're gonna watch some videos until it arrives. Oh, I know what we can do. What's his name? Jordan. Darn it. I wish I'd remembered his name of his channel. Hang on.
Known you a long time.
I know it was a short.
Wait.
No. Oh my god, I'm gonna get copyright like a mother. Hold on. I'm gonna turn this audio down until I find the video I'm supposed to be looking for. I don't need clips of Disney movies. All right, I don't need the mouse to kill me. Where the hell is it? Ah, I found him. All right, we found him. Jared, that's his name, not Jordan. All right. I don't know if you guys know who this is, but he's great. He's actually really hilarious. He captures each generation perfectly. Ah.
Hey.
There he is. His skits are perfect.
Deposit. Have you tried using the ATM? What do you mean ATM? ATMs are for women. There was an extremely long line at the ATM, so hopefully you can go out and do something about that. Anyways, I need to pay my mortgage. Have you ever tried our website? Online, so the government can track me? No thanks, Joe Biden. Hey there. Your ATM wasn't working inside, so I had to come inside. Unfortunately. Listen, I need to deposit this $20, please. You were minus $20 in your account. Oh, okay. Guess who's having a McChicken for dinner? Me. I'm having a McChicken for dinner. Are you hiring? I need to deposit some cash that I got for Christmas, but your ATM outside is broken. Okay, can you fill out a deposit slip for me? What the is that? Back in my day, only women worked at banks. Well, it is 2020. I see your name tag says English and Spanish. This country is going downhill. Hey.
You're so amazing.
Wait, no. Hey. I don't need to see this guy like gaslighting like 5-year-olds on Among Us VR. Hang on.
Hey. Deposit. Have you tried using the...
Wait, we just watched this.
Hey, wow.
Oh, wait, we're missing this one.
Deposit.
Hold on. Motherfucker.
Maybe you should use 2024 to find a better job and stop being so damn lazy. Please pull your card out. I'm f***ing talking to somebody. You know, maybe in 2024 we, I don't know, leave the colored hair behind. We could go ahead and leave that back in 2023. You should probably work on looking a little more normal and fitting in. 2023's been tough. Yeah, it's been a tough year. It's been a tough few years, okay?
Sorry, but I'm a millennial. I am perpetually traumatized every single day. So that's why I'm super apologetic, introverted, and do not want confrontation ever when I'm out in public.
But what's the worst that could happen in 2024, huh? Another financial crash? Please, maybe home prices will go down. Do you think in 2024 you could, I don't know, stop calling me? I'll take a f***ing Facebook message over a call. I want to wish everybody a very happy new year. Everybody. Unless you're Irish, Italian, Polish, Hungarian, any sort of Eastern European like Serbian, Bosnian, Croatian, Slovenian. Maybe you should... I can't believe that you young people would treat me with such disrespect. This obviously isn't the world that I grew up in. What should I do, huh? I should just die? Like I was saying, sir, we do not have the Big Mac because this is Wendy's. The younger generations are flushing this country down the toilet. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness is dead. That's why I vote. Sir, you backhanded a 4-year-old at Arby's. Where did you get off thinking you can tell me what to do? I worked in a coal mine and bought a house when I was 20 years old. Have you ever worked in a coal mine? No, I have not. Please pull your card out. Last time I checked, this was still America, and we speak English in America. What are the southern borders just wide open? Okay, yeah, Live Moss is just our slogan here at Taco Bell. I can't believe that you young people would treat me with such disrespect.
My brother is a year younger than I. We are both members of the older millennial generation. I was born in 85, he was born in 86.
Fact. This no Indian food, American food, hot dog. Oh damn it, it's not even on. I don't care if he's handicapped. I'm just gonna call. Oh, my friend just texted me. He said he got in a car accident. Let me text him real quick. Hold on a second. Hope you're okay. Lol. Laugh cry emoji. Stressed emoji. Car emoji.
Okay. All right. In my defense, I don't use that many emojis in a single text message. Okay. I limit myself to one.
Oh, I'm in an ambulance. I never understood why millennials use so many emojis. It's ridiculous. You don't have to use a laughing face after you say LOL. Do you guys have Fortnite at the hospital? Back in my day, if you mentioned the concept of a touchscreen, they put you in a mental hospital. Ah, okay. The only people lazier than the Polish are the Hungarians. Hey, where's my gift? It's right here, Dad. Okay. Happy holidays. We say Merry Christmas. I thought we were Jewish. I'm gonna f*** you up.
His channel name is the Jared Benson. Look for him on YouTube. All right. For the love of God, check this dude out.
All kids want these days are electronics and video games. When I was a kid, we got toys that we could play with outside. We didn't have our faces in screens 24/7.
mother lover, you guys were the Atari and the NES generation. You're acting, this is actually true about Gen Xers. Gen Xers love to be the ones that's like, when I was your age, we all played outside and when we were young. Millennials did that too, asshole. Sorry, I'm cursing. I'm done. I can't hold it in anymore. Millennials played outside too.
You like Minions? Handmade cards. You get that? Handmade. I did it myself. I'm so quirky.
Have a good night, Milla.
He can't afford real cards, so we had to make them by hand. Right. Grandma, socks and a card? I'm a lucky boy this Christmas. Let me take a look. Wow, it's very sweet. Back in my day, a good Christmas gift was not having polio. What the is a skibbity toilet?
I don't know. I don't know, Grandpa. I actually don't know either. I don't know what that is.
Reservation.
Oh, okay. When would you like to come in? When would you like to come in?
I want that table over there.
Okay, sir, but when is this for?
What?
When is the reservation for?
Tomorrow.
And how many people?
1.
Okay, well, you won't need a reservation. We'll be able to seat you no problem.
I want a damn reservation. I don't trust you liberals.
Okay, fine. What time would you like to come in?
Lunch.
How about 12 p.m.?
What?
12 p.m. tomorrow?
Why the would I eat lunch in the middle of the night?
Sir, you're being very rude.
Noon. I want a reservation for noon.
That's what 12 p.m. is, sir. It's noon.
Okay.
You! I told you never to come back here.
What?
Get the out.
God bless. Okay, let me get this straight. You want me to send you $2,300 in Walmart gift cards because the funds are stuck in the Congo?
Yep, stuck in the Congo.
Okay, yeah, that seems legitimate. I'm about to be rich as I'm too smart. Okay, hold on a second, I got a call. Hello? Yep, it's my bank. Yeah, my password is password123. Okay, thanks so much. Oh, get this. My dad just got scammed out of $2,300.
Which is true. My dad is a straight boomer.
In Walmart gift cards. They'll just spend their money on anything. Anyways, I just bought my 18th copy of Skyrim.
Okay. All right, look. I've only bought 3 copies of Skyrim, okay? Not 18. There's the Skyrim Special Edition, Skyrim Anniversary, and Skyrim VR. That's it. I did not buy 18 versions, all right? Look.
Dude, you bought Skyrim again? You're never going to be able to retire at this rate. Anyways, I just bought another skin on Fortnite. I have like 300 imaginary skins on a video game now. I remember when the United States government created polio.
Please just give me your bank.
Oh, wait, what?
I don't trust anyone who likes Indian food. Okay, let me get this straight.
Hey, Grandpa, you're in.
Hey, you want a tip? I got one for you. Don't be so damn lazy. Can I get a coffee to go? Sure. God bless. I don't care how busy it is. I had to wave you down to get some ranch for my fries, and you still want a tip? And it's still on the bill? I'm not paying 50 cents for this ranch. Okay, so
if you haven't noticed yet, the Gen Xers are the absolute Karens of the generation.
So the food was pretty bad, and so was the service. And you were really mean to me today. You almost made me cry.
The millennials are dealing with existential trauma, largely probably due to 9/11 and the war on terror. So they are completely sensitive, overly apologetic, and introverted.
So I'm gonna tip you 25% because I do come here once a week and I'm afraid what you'll do to my food. You know, tipping culture is extremely out of control.
I wouldn't say out of control.
Oh, really?
What's that?
I absolutely vibe, though, with Gen Z. Tipping culture is out of effing control. Bro, I'm not tipping you when I come there to pick up my food.
Answer the question, Jeff.
What am I tipping you for?
Jeff, answer the question. Back in my day, women like you knew how to treat a man.
I am a man.
Oh, okay, now I'm confused.
Okay, here's your bill.
California. Hey.
Yes, I agree. Kindly disregard California.
You want a tip? Hey, I need a man.
You were asked for a tip at the drive-thru, Sathail? Are you serious?
Here's the QR code to scan.
You want me to scan something so you can steal all my money, don't you?
No, sir. We don't actually have any access
Go hack somebody else's mainframe, communist. How about we just skip the last and you just give me a real menu?
I'm sorry. We don't have any.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna order the steak. I hope that's not going to be on the bill. I could ruin this place. I have like 300 Facebook friends. And where's the QR code? Oh, it's right in front of me. I'm so sorry. Oh, that's not the camera app. Do you have a Wi-Fi password? Yeah, I scanned it as soon as we sat down. I'll have the...
I love how he has this thing on the bottom because that's what YouTube Shorts and TikTok is all about nowadays. Because Gen Z cannot like listen to somebody talk without dangling keys in front of them with some sort of like action happening. They can't just listen to somebody talking. That's why they need this mobile game underneath them to make them pay attention. Anyway.
Chicken tenders. Back in my day, the only trans we knew about was a transmission.
Please just...
I remember when we started letting Irish people into the country. And it's been downhill ever since. Hey! I need a... Hey! Wow, off to a great...
Bro, you play games while videos are playing and we're chatting. Yeah. No shit, RA. Why do you think I do that?
Great start. So listen, you're about 2 feet away from me. Okay, so no need to snap or yell. Okay, now, is my watch my Wi-Fi? It's connected to the Wi-Fi, but it becomes an extension of your phone. Okay, is this my phone? No. You don't need to raise your hand. Okay, so this watch is now the Wi-Fi. Okay, right, so we just went over this about 7 seconds ago. It's not. Okay, how does this telephone help with my wife? So it's a watch, and I don't understand that question. I'm from New York, just in case you wanted to know. So if I tell my wrist computer I'm hungry, will it make me a sandwich? Pastrami on rice. Spicy mustard. Please. Pastrami sandwich. New wife. Guy. Tall Eastern European woman. Why are my grandkids afraid of me? Large bosom. Hey. Hey. Hotel check-in now.
No. I need the name on the reservation.
I know you do not need any of my personal information to check me in. Now do your f***ing job. Checking in, Wilson?
Okay, hold on 1 second.
Did you just tell me to hold on? I think your attitude just earned me an upgrade.
Like I said, Gen Xers are the Karens. Yeah.
Sorry, your room's not ready yet.
No, that's completely fine. That's fine. It's completely fine. I'm sorry that I assumed my room would be ready. I'm so sorry. Listen, I just need somewhere to sleep. I don't even really need a room. I'm just happy to be here. Yeah, I made a reservation on the app.
Can I see your printed confirmation? Every reservation needs a printed ticket.
What is it, 1963? Why do I need to have a printed ticket? I don't even own a printer. Back in my day, cigarettes were good for you. Okay? I like to say racist things and then act like I don't know what they mean. But I do know what they mean.
The self-aware elderly racist. He knows he can get away with it because people will say, "Oh, he's just old. Don't worry about it." And he's like, "Ah, isms."
Hey, there is an I'm going to the Grand Canyon because I'm a goddamn American.
You should really see Paris one day.
I don't want to go to Paris to see no hunk of metal. I hate French people. We're doing something extremely special this year. I've been on 17 cruises before, all to the Caribbean. This is going to be my 18th, to Mexico. I'm pretty much a world traveler at this point.
Jesus. Oh my God. Okay, my sister's not like this, in fairness.
Yeah, of course I'm going on vacation. If by vacation you mean sitting on the couch watching reruns of The Office with my dog.
Replace dog with cat and reruns of The Office with video games.
You're not traveling?
Oh, that's a funny story. I can't afford that. Hey, Dad, are we going on vacation this year? Another cruise? Oh, it's to Mexico. Okay. Yeah, I'm going on a cruise to Mexico. I'm pretty much a world traveler at this point. I'm not...
Okay, so now that we know in the lore that the Gen X is the father of the Gen Z.
Going with my parents. Back in my day, your lunch break at the asbestos factory was a vacation.
Oh.
Okay. You smell like you're an Italian. I'm going to the Grand Canyon.
What the fuck?
Because I'm a goddamn American. I'll tell you what, my favorite thing about coming into the office is the fact that my wife isn't here.
Sir, your wife's here.
A male receptionist. Okay, I guess we're just caving into the woke mob. You guys said a water reminder. I said a reminder for me to drink water. Hey, does anyone here like LinkedIn?
God, oh my God.
Does it stay on forever?
Working from home reminds me of my own mortality.
To this day, there is not a more efficient way to send files than with a fax machine.
Oh.
Stop. I convinced my wife that LinkedIn is work. So I just sit on that all weekend so I don't have to spend any time with her. It's okay, I figured it out. I'll tell you what, my favorite thing about coming in the office is the fact that my wife isn't here.
Sir?
Yeah, I like this car over here.
Okay, great.
Was it made in America?
This one's actually from South Korea.
I need to leave. I've done my research.
Sorry, that's our price.
Fine. Then I'll just leave.
Okay, see you later.
Okay. All right, listen. Can I at least get a keychain?
No.
No?
No.
I'll buy it. 40,000. Okay, wow. I'll give you 42 if we don't have to negotiate. I physically can't do that. I physically can't. Also, I need to spread my payments out. Is that possible?
Sure.
Okay, great. A couple years maybe, like 15 or more. Does that car over there?
The generational trauma that millennials have. They're just like...
There have Apple CarPlay?
Unfortunately, it does not.
Is it an antique?
No, it's a 2005.
I was born in 2005. I used to be best friends with Dwight Eisenhower.
Okay. Are you looking for a car?
I can tell English is your second language, and that makes me angry. Good afternoon, sir. Did you find everything I need help?
Working in retail, part 15.
Help. Okay. What can I help you with? Check out. Right. I figured you were doing that because this is the checkout counter. Mm-hmm. All right. Your total's gonna be... You forgot this. Okay. So that's it. You don't have any other items, right? You're done? Yup. Okay. Just to reconfirm, this is it. There's nothing else that you want to buy. Uh-huh.
Great. I know. My dad doesn't do throat clears like that. But he does do, but he has like a hack. My dad, I love him to death. But like this universal sign that it's morning, you know, when I'm visiting parents, is I can hear my dad's like hacking cough in the early morning at like 6:30 a.m. That's when I know it's time to wake up. But he only ever does that in the morning.
Hey, you forgot this. Okay. Your final total is $34. You can take your card out now. You think I'm dumb because I'm old. No, I'm not calling you stupid. It's just you're not taking the card out. I know exactly what I need to do and when I need to do it. You still haven't taken it out of the machine. I don't need some minimum wage earning child telling me what I need to do.
Take the card out!
So, do I just take it out of the machine? Good afternoon, sir. Did you find everything I need help. Okay. What can I help you with? Check out. Right. I figured you... Good morning. Did you find everything... I remember when Fortnite was 2 weeks. So your total's gonna come to
You and me both, Grandpa. You and me both. I remember when Fortnite was, 2 weeks.
$352. $352? Back in my day, that would have been 87 cents. Okay.
Bro!
So is that going to be cash or card? When I'm in public and I hear somebody say lit, I call the police. When I was a kid, I had to walk to school uphill in the snow for 10 miles. Cash or card? Until I got polio. And then I was in a wheelchair. You're not even listening at this point, are you? I was in a wheelchair for 87 years. Oh, okay. Is that going to be cash or card? Until last week, I learned how to walk again. My forearms had gotten so strong from using the wheelchair that they based Popeye the Sailor Man off of my life. Wow, that's crazy. Cash or card? And to this day, I haven't seen a goddamn penny. I don't like anyone specifically from Rhode Island. Good morning.
As somebody who went to law school in Rhode Island for 3 years. Can't relate.
I do not need any of your goddamn help.
No problem. I'm here if you need me.
What are you, 7 years old?
I'm 32.
Okay. I need a plunger, quickly. I actually did my entire kitchen myself, and
they're at a Home Depot.
My wife and kids love it.
Wow, very cool.
You know, it's 2023 and we just don't have any men left anywhere. But guess what? There's one right here. I'm a man. I'm a big, strong man. Oh,
the need for self-reinforcement.
Well, hello, fellow home improver.
You're from Warwick, Robert? Oh my goodness. I went to law school in Roger Williams University in Bristol.
Listen, I need the cheapest front door that you have because mine fell off and my landlord won't replace it.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
It's a crazy story. Hey, my grandpa sent me to pick up some, he has it written here in cursive. I don't know why old people still write in cursive.
Oh my God.
Yugoslavia? Do you guys have any of that? Why? Why is there a homosexual man in every new TV show?
Yo, the silent generation just gives no. It gives no. Oh goodness. Woo.
I do not need. Someone go get me another beer. So, who'd you vote for? Hey, we're not gonna do that this year. I bet you.
Oh, this is Thanksgiving.
Voted for Joe Biden. You know what I'm thankful for? The fact that my generation grew up without screens in their faces. Just like boomers.
Shut! I swear to God, this is my sister's Gen X. But she was born in 1980, so she's right at that threshold between, you know, Gen X and boomers. Gen X and millennials. She does not do this at all. But I've heard a lot of Gen Xers on like Twitter and X where they're so insufferably smug at mocking millennials, and it pisses me off.
I bet you voted for Joe Biden. Hey, we're not gonna do that this year. I bet you voted for Joe Biden. It doesn't matter who I voted for. Let's just enjoy this terrible holiday together.
All right, I do disagree with millennials. I actually like Thanksgiving almost as much as Christmas, as a matter of fact. I feel like Thanksgiving is an underappreciated holiday between Halloween and Christmas. But yeah, that's just me.
You know who wasn't thankful? The Native Americans. And rightfully so.
Okay, I would not like bring that up. I would only bring that up as a joke. And yeah.
Hey. What are you listening to? Oh, nothing. They're just noise canceling. Please don't tell anyone. Hey, hold on. Do you have another pair? No, I don't have an extra pair. Back in my day, the cure for depression was shutting the up. Grandpa, what are you thankful for? I'll be thankful when I'm dead.
Jesus! Oh my God!
Good afternoon, sir. Did you find... I actually have to ring you up first. It ain't working. Unfortunately, our tap to pay isn't working right now either, so you actually have to insert. I bet you took the vaccine. Okay. Please just let me ring the items up, and then you can pay. Okay. All right, your total's $26. Okay. Okay, so you are still tapping.
Boomers, persnickety boomers.
The card repeatedly. That doesn't work. It worked when I was at a gas station this morning. Instead of tapping, you insert it into the bottom of the machine. You want my personal information from the chip. Take the card. That's with the chip. Bill Gates. Insert that chip into the machine. Bill Gates made the chip. Better yet, just give me your card. I'll do it myself. Okay, great. This is a Costco membership card. Okay, great. I guess it's company policy you don't take Costco memberships. Do you by any chance have anything else to pay with? You take checks? Good afternoon, sir. Did you find... Good afternoon, sir. How can Personal computer. Okay, great. Do you know what you're looking for? I've done my research, and I know which one I want. Okay. Yup. What exactly? This ad's for an IBM computer from the 1990s. Yup. I can help you find some. I want that computer. They stopped making it 30 years ago. How about this one? Yeah, it's all there. It's all of it is there. Written nice and neat there for you. These are MapQuest directions from this store to an Arby's. I'm gonna write a bad review and I'm gonna make it my last mission that you get your ass fired. Okay. And then your ugly ass family's gonna know that you're a goddamn failure. Real nice.
Oh my God.
God bless. Oh, God bless. My t-shirt? I want to be honest with you. The man on that t-shirt is pretty handsome. Link in bio. What the f does that mean? Good afternoon, sir. How can I...
Shameless plug. I like it.
I'm glad all the generations could make it today. Hey, I'm f***ing talking here. Okay, boomer. LOL. Good one, Gen Z. I'm sorry. Okay, thanks. Calm down. Women belong in the kitchen. Dude, come on. It's 2023. I thought it was 1996. Wow, 2023, huh? You know, we were the last generation to play outside. Gen X, you need to stop saying that. That's not even true. Can you all relax so we can get down to business? Okay, boomer. Right, Gen Z? Mm-hmm. Alexis, play Bad to the Bone.
Put bone broth on your shopping list.
I used to listen to that song growing up when we were playing outside and drinking from the water hose. Can you please stop saying that? Hey, does anyone here remember Rugrats?
I remember Rugrats.
I'm sorry. Why is that homosexual man talking? You can't just say things like that. Gen Z, come on, you back me up. You're the social justice type. Can you please stop including me? All right, who the f*** invited Gen Alpha? I'm glad all the Gen...
I agree. We all need to rise up against Gen Alpha.
Welcome to the coffee shop, sir.
Coffee.
Of course, and what size were you looking at getting today?
I don't know, big?
Perfect, and what type of coffee?
I just want a f***ing coffee. I like your blue hair. Yeah, could I get a grande iced mocha?
Sure thing.
Perfect, thanks so much.
Have you ever used our app?
The app? No. I prefer the human interaction. You know, my generation, we were the last ones to play outside.
Oh my god!
Wow, okay.
I know. I'm insufferable. Hey!
You are!
Hey, excuse me. Hi. Oh, hi. Yeah, I'm just checking on my order. I'm sorry.
They're directly in front of you.
They're over okay, I see them now. I'm so sorry. You're fine.
I'm so sorry. Okay, I'm not that apologetic in public, okay?
Just go in, grab it. Don't make eye contact.
Hey there, sir. How you doing today?
I remember when you could get a piece of candy for a penny.
Okay. Would you like any coffee?
You look Polish.
Well...
I don't even know what that means. You look Polish to me.
Welcome to the coffee shop.
$600? That's how much I paid for my first damn car.
So would you like to go ahead and get that done?
No, I'm just gonna go home and do it my goddamn self. Do I look like an easy target to you? Are you trying to f me?
No, sir.
Listen, I want to talk to your mechanic.
Unfortunately...
Let me talk to him. Let's go in the back, get your mechanic. I just want to have a little chit chat with your mechanic. Okay, that's it. 600, huh? Is that USD?
Correct.
Oh.
Wait, is that USD? Not yen? Not Japanese yen? Sorry. Okay, sorry.
Okay, it is. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, and you said that the car would explode if I drive it like this.
Also correct.
Okay, yeah, okay, that's what I thought. Okay. So, yeah, okay, I'll pay for it. You take credit cards, right? Like 2 credit cards? $600. I just Googled the repair, and it says that that's too much.
Well, we charge $600 here.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna call my mom.
Yeah, I bet you would.
We didn't let the women drive the cars.
Okay.
You look like you like rap music.
This is terrible.
Table for 2.
That's a 45-minute wait.
Okay. Hey, is my table ready? How you doing? Table for 2, please.
That's 45 minutes.
45 minutes. With all those tables available, huh?
Yeah, unfortunately,
okay.
We're short-staffed.
Oh, yeah, okay. So I'm just not important. Can I speak to your manager?
Again, Gen X are the Karens of all the generations.
Good afternoon. Hey, how you doing? Oh, good to hear. Hey, I need a table for 2, please.
It'll be 45 minutes.
45 minutes. That's it? Okay. Yeah, listen, if you need to push me down the list for any reason, I'll wait an hour, 2 hours. I don't care.
Okay, I do not do this. No, I want my table ready as soon as possible. I'll wait 45 minutes, but no. No, I'm not I'm not this like freaking submissive, okay?
I'm a pushover. Sorry. Hey, I checked in on the app like 45 minutes ago.
Perfect. Right this way.
Okay, great. What are all these old people doing here? I remember when they made Hawaii a state.
Okay.
1969.
Sir, would you like a table?
You got a lot of tattoos.
Yeah.
You frighten me because I think you might be a homosexual. So, question 1.
Good afternoon.
Your total's gonna be, how much is it? Your total is $42.
Wait, was it 59 or 69? I thought it was 69. Damn it. When did Hawaii become a state? It was 59. I thought it was 69. Well, I was wrong. State of Nevada versus 6 electors. Is this about? Hold on. Is this about the January 6th electors? Because that's gonna be spicy. Ooh. All right, I'll save that one for later. Hey, Dr. J, what's up, man? I'm still waiting for my freaking chicken here. Oh, almost here. All right, we got one more quick video, guys. We have one more quick video. Okay. I'm actually triple streaming. I'm on YouTube, Kick, and Twitch. Oh, how about this?
When John Paul Jones was a little boy, he pointed to the sea, said, when I get to be a man, a fighting man I'll be. I'll leave my mark on the ocean and my name in history. When John Paul was a member of the British Admiralty, he killed a sailor on his ship, which was a crime, you see. He changed his name to J.P. Jones and came to America. He fought in the rain and he fought in the sun and he fought in the moonlight too. He fought with his life and he fought with his gun and he fought till his blood ran blue. But John Paul Jones was a fighting man was he. He sailed to the east and he sailed to the west and he helped set America free.
All right, it's a rear.
When John Paul was a captain in the U.S. Naval Band, fighting for the glory and the freedom of our land, he made those British captains wish that they were on dry land. He sent their mighty vessels to the bottom of the sea. He took their bags of treasure and he sank their chest of tea. He gave his blood for all free men and his life for liberty. He fought in the rain and he fought in the sun and he fought in the moonlight too. He fought with his life and he fought with his gun and he fought till his blood ran blue. But John Paul Jones was a fighting man was he.
Honestly, the more I learn about John Paul Jones, the more I realize this man was certifiably insane, but he was also a freaking badass.
He sailed to the east and he sailed to the west and he helped set America free. He fought in the rain and he fought in
All right. Stop. All right. You guys have a good night. We're done. Glad you guys enjoyed watching Hillygus. We're gonna take a look at no, it's not a was I singing, Mandy? No, I wasn't singing, was I? Therefore, it wasn't a shanty. Anyway, good night, guys. Have a good night. I'm glad you guys came in to watch. I'll probably be gone, going on tomorrow. Showing off the new RGB lighting, I guess, when I get that all situated. But you guys have a good rest of your night. Take care. Adios. See ya.